Yes guys, it's Tom here. I'm a professional FIFA player for XL and I'm here today to teach you how to attack in the 4-4-2. So tip number one is going to be the player lock. We can see in this clip here, I have the ball with my left midfielder and I press L1 to trigger his run. However, I'm not happy with where he's running, so I use the player lock effectively to control my striker. You press the left and right analog stick in at the same time and then press the right stick to who you want to receive the ball with. So now what I want to do with my striker is bend my run round the centre back, so when I receive the through ball I'm going to be bearing down on goal, which is exactly what we do here. It now means that I'm in a very dangerous position and we apply the finishing touch using a chipped finish. So tip number two is how to effectively use the driven pass. So as we can see in this clip, I pick the ball up out wide my left midfielder and I'm looking to create the angle of passing to one of my two strikers. So I managed to recycle the ball, I go back to my midfielder, and as we can see I've triggered my striker's run and I have two strikers to hit now, which I want to hit with the driven pass. To perform the driven pass, we use R1 and X at the same time, and we can see here, as I use it, it comes perfectly into the space and I get my shot off before the centre back can get there. Possession in attack. So what does this actually mean? Well, I've noticed from all my years playing FIFA that a lot of people are in a rush to get to the goal and try and score as quickly as possible. Sometimes that means we don't pick the right passes. As we can see in this clip here, I'm going to recycle the ball. I have the ball with my striker and I'm looking for my other striker or my midfielder that's making an advanced run. I noticed very quickly that he's got both of these passes covered, and this is when I make the decision that it's best to recycle the ball and be patient in attack. Here, I pass the ball backwards and I notice that the area of the pitch is very, very congested in the middle. As a result of this, I go out wide to my left back. He's got the space to attack, and my aim here is to try and bring out a couple of them players in the middle area. It's way too congested to create a chance. So my aim is to try and attack the space as much as possible to start pulling these players out of position. I drive forward and we can see a couple of his midfielders have now come out to engage with the ball, and it means that I can rotate the ball around the area and try and find the right pass. So I go back to my midfielder, who goes into my striker, and now we're in a very, very dangerous position. We can see that recycle has helped me get to this spot here. As I get the ball, the pass opens up to my striker, and that's where we get the goal. I've been Tom. I hope you've all enjoyed my 4-4-2 masterclass, and I'll see you all on the pitch.
What's going on, everyone? Olelito here. I'm a professional FIFA player for Ninjas in Pajamas, and today I will be showing you a masterclass how to defend in FIFA 22. In this masterclass I will be showing you first of all how to play a switch, how to pressure play, and how to use your center backs in the best kind of way. First of all, I have the ball with my CM here. The thing is that I play a very sloppy pass here trying to reach my other CM. The thing though is that the R1 pass in FIFA 22 is super effective. And why? Because the accuracy of the pass is very good. So the thing I want to do here first of all is to bumper switch to the closest player, in this case that's closest to the striker making a running behind, which is my center back. So I'm switching to my center back here, as you see, and from now on I'm in front of the ball. So most likely I will get it, which happens, and after that I can start my attack and hopefully score a goal. The second topic I want to talk about today is where to press, and I can tell you for a fact that this will improve your defense in FIFA 22. So as you see here, I'm brave enough here to be able to control my center back and trying to put pressure on his winger. And I'm actually, at the same time as I'm putting pressure on his winger here, as you see in this clip, I'm also cutting off the passing lane to his winger, then making a run in behind. So the thing I'm doing here is to always still put pressure on him, because he feels like I'm very close to him all the time. He makes a rush decision, and the outcome of this then is that he is running out with the ball, I'm getting a throw in, and I can start my attack from there. The third topic of today is how to use the center backs. And I think it's a very hard thing in this FIFA to do. First of all, I see that he is starting a very dangerous counter-attack. So he gets the ball into his striker. The thing that is going on in my head here is I need to put pressure on the ball holder. So the thing I'm doing first of all is to put the R1 pressure with your R1 bumper on your controller with my right center back here, which allows him to basically don't have any passing options here. As you see, the only thing he can do is to go forward. But at the same time here, I see that he has tried to do the play lock option, which you do by pressing down your L3 and R3 at the same time. So I'm switching to my left center back here to be able to cover the space in behind, which can be very dangerous because we know these through balls in this game are effective. So I'm switching to my center back, but at the same time trying to put pressure on the ball holder, which then results in me getting the ball and starting a good attack. So guys, this has been Olelito for you all. Thank you so much for watching this masterclass. See you on the pitch.
Were you there when Tech shocked the world in Barcelona?
This kid, I mean, he's come out of nowhere, DH Techs. He gets the goal.
When Blue Agoo did this to win the Summer Cup?
From the range, can you believe it?
Were you watching when MS Desire became king of the jungle? Or when Dolomite scored with a rainbow flick? Did you witness Levy's 5-goal comeback to win back-to-back championships in his rookie season?
Finally starts to kick in as well, the tears on the side of Gravison.
Or the moment Gravison sealed his ticket to the World Cup?
You know, there's nothing I love more than FIFA esports.
Were you there for this? Or this? Or any of this? The Masters are back to make history. Will you be there?
Well, hello guys, and welcome to week 3 of the FGS Masters Cup, or what we like to call Monday Night FIFA, with me, Rachel Stringer, and Man City FIFA pro Ryan Pessoa. Hi guys, we of course are halfway through our weekly set of mini FIFA tournaments where we get to show you some of the best FIFA duos on the planet who are battling it out for a prize purse each week of $25,000 US. Ryan, welcome once again. 2 weeks down, 2 champions, of course. We had Excel and Guild. What's been a highlight for you from the last 2 weeks so far?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Of course, great to be alongside you again. I would say my highlight would have been last week, Nicholas and Razak, of course, competing when they equalised in the last minute. It's just the calmness that they had, the composure to create the chance and score it as well. I'd say that's been my highlight so far.
I'm glad you spoke about the equaliser there and the last minute, because we get to see a recap of week 2 right now. Let's kick things off with semi-final 1, of course. Team Ajax and Team Hullet Ninjas in pyjamas. Levy and Olalito had it all their way, let me tell you. 5-2 was the final score there. Then semi-final 2, Neo and Guild struggled to separate these two teams throughout regulation time. Anyway, this was what turned it 3-3, went to extra time, of course. Then we went to penalties. Guild, look, they missed their first penalty and still went on to win. They made it through to that final, of course. It was between Team Guild and Team Hullet Ninjas in pyjamas. Exciting matchup. In leg 1, we had to wait until this 91 minutes for a messy goal. Leg 2 then, what could Team Hullet Ninjas in pyjamas do? Nothing! Look at that! Schmeichel denied them that equaliser, meaning Team Guild coming out as our week 2 champions. Wow, that was exciting, Ryan. You kind of teed it up a little bit. Would you say Guild came out on top due to their experience, possibly?
I'd say it's more so their defence. They've, of course, got a little bit fortunate in some stages of the game, but they defended miraculously throughout both legs in the final. And I say they deserved winners for sure.
Yeah, they were, Nicholas and Razak, of course. Well, let's now move towards what's going to happen over the next 2 weeks and see which Masters teams are still yet to play. So, March 21st, that's where we're at right now. Tonight, we see Ducks taking on Heretics, then Makers taking on Team Falcons, before our final FGS Masters Cup next week, March 28th. Complexity go against Atlanta, and Inter take on SPQR. 8 more super exciting teams for you guys to watch, so stay tuned. And of course, this is what they're battling it out for, a prize purse of $25,000 US. First place goes home with $15,000 US. Second, $5,000, and third and fourth, of course, $2.5K as well. Ryan, take us through then how tonight's looking in a little bit more detail, please.
Yes, Rachel, you mentioned the teams involved. Now, the players representing Ducks Gaming, we do have Ducks Gravison and his teammate Ducks Daniel Aguilar up against Team Heretics, where they do have Matthias Bonanno and Hidalgo. But on the other side of the bracket, we do have Makers with Cosimo and Makers Principe. And representing Team Falcons, we have Dr. Nightwatch and the king of the jungle himself, MS Dasari. It'll be great to see that matchup as well. But ultimately, just incredible matchups on either side of the bracket.
Incredible matchups and so many awesome players as well. And obviously the first two teams are two Spanish esports side as well. And one of their players is obviously Dux Gravison, someone that we all really know now. He joins us quite often on broadcast and he's such an emotional player. I think that's why I like him so much. But Ryan, tell us a little bit more about Gravison and you know, his achievements to date, because he's had quite a few.
Yeah, there have been quite a few. Gravison has been around the scene since I came into it myself. He's someone that you'd look up to as a player up and coming in the scene because of what he's accomplished as a person and as a player. Now, we saw briefly on the screen his accomplishments, winning the La Liga. You can see there in the scenes here, scoring some fantastic goals. There were some great celebrations in that as well. He's also been consistently competing throughout the FIFA Global Series since the beginning and ranking high in a numerous amount of those tournaments as well, which did in fact lead him into qualifying for the grand finals last year. We saw how emotional he was in reaching his first grand finals. Be hoping this year that he can do the same and be hoping that he can carry on competing at the highest level, not just in 1v1 tournaments, but now with the introduction of 2v2 tournaments with his teammate representing Dux Gaming with Daniel Aguilar, of course, will be a fantastic combination. And speaking about his teammate now, of course, finishing top 4 in the La Liga last year, and of course, finishing top 8 in the E-Club World Cup, again, which features a 2v2 aspect. So I think that could help in terms of the chemistry between these two.
Yeah, experienced team there, I'd say as well, Ryan. You mentioned how long Gravison has been around the FIFA community now. But let's switch up to their opponents then. Another Spanish esports organisation, of course, Team Heretics. Starting with this chap, Matthias Bonanno, an Argentinian player. He's moved over, hasn't he, to Europe to further his esports career. Tell us a little bit more about Matthias.
Yep, of course, you mentioned it. Initially, he was competing in South America for last season, but he has moved over to Europe, signed for Team Heretics, and his accomplishments are nothing short of amazing. Last year in FIFA 21, he started off the season with a bang, winning the first qualifier in South America. He followed that up in qualifier number 2 with a 3rd place finish, but then the qualifiers after that, number 3 and number 4, he won back-to-back. So again, he's been fantastic, and of course, moving over to Europe this year, he's been nothing short of amazing as well, being very consistent in the first 2 qualifiers that we have had. And again, he'll be hoping this year he can continue performing at the highest level, not just in 1v1, but with his teammate, which we'll see on the screen here, Hidalgo, so I think it's pronounced, again, a member of Team Heretics. He's performed fantastically well throughout the years as well, finishing 3rd place in the La Liga last year. So we'll be hoping that these two can muster up something to overcome Dux. It'll be a fantastic game between these two.
Oh, it's going to be such a fantastic game, Ryan, as you kind of just teed it up. Obviously, I feel like we've got the experience from Dux and maybe the youth and the new boys in Heretics there. How would you anticipate this one going?
I'm going to say the experience might edge out the youngsters in Team Heretics. I think Dux might have enough. I just think just that their experience they've had together in competitions and especially in the 2v2 might push them slightly as the winners for me.
Well, Ryan, I think Richard Buckley may have something to say about that because he's a massive Matthias Bonanno fan. He absolutely loves this chap. He sings his praises all the time. So on that note, I'm going to hand it up to Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley to take you through this first semi-final of week 3 of the FGS Masters Cup. And I'm sure Rich is going to be smiling with who is playing here.
He certainly is going to be indeed. Thank you very much, Rachel and Ryan. Welcome back to week 3 of the FGS Masters Cup. Myself, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley guiding you through all the action today. We speak so highly, firstly, of Matthias Bonanno. It's because we followed South America last year, Richard. We got first-hand experience to see how big and how good of a player he was and what a pickup he is, first and foremost, off the rift for Team Heretics, Richard Buckley.
Outstanding pickup, in all honesty. I'm very looking forward to seeing how he gets on today. However, he's got tough competition in Dux Gaming. We can have a look at their team right now on the screen that they will be using. It's a really, really solid team. The introduction of Prime Icon moments across the board, fully released as well. So R9 Ronaldo, Rude Hullet, Vieira is going to be playing at centre-back with Pele moving into an attacking position. Cafu is the right-back of choice. And you can see a couple of the substitutions, potentially Ronaldinho, Zidane to come on. On the other side of it, Team Heretics, they've got that full Team of the Year defence. And then going into the attack, it's Zidane and Hullet Holding with R9, CR7, Pele and Mbappe as the front four.
Well, without any further ado, I think we better jump into our first game of today here. It's straight knockout FIFA in the FGS Masters, and it's our first look at two different teams this year in the FIFA 22 Global Series that's been reinformed and changed for this year. Forget 1v1, it's all about 2v2 FIFA esports, and these are two of our Masters teams that will be competing at the end of April in the Team of the Season Cup. And I can't wait to watch this one, Richard, because these are teams that we haven't quite yet seen in the Global Series. Didn't get to catch them, unfortunately, in late December. I should say early January with the Team of the Year Cup, because they sort of booked their ticket already through to the April tournament. But two very different teams based out in Spain. Ducks Gaming kicking from left to right in their traditional black strip, which is in the game as an esport kit this year, and in the colours of Real Zaragoza, the team that Hidalgo and Matthias Banana do represent in the La Liga, alongside their outings for Team Heretics. That's who's going to be kicking off in this game. We'll have a quick word on Team Heretics first and foremost, Richard Buckley, because they sort of made their big announcement into the FIFA esports scene this year, and whoever's behind the decisions in picking up talent there deserves a huge, huge plaudit, because the quality of player they've picked up and the difference in player they have as well. They brought on Matthias Banana all the way from Argentina, who now lives in Spain, obviously playing in the La Liga, but Hidalgo's a serious pickup. Top 3 finished last year in La Liga. Not one of the big headline names in Spain, but certainly a player that can take you far and can take you in big tournaments and can give you those knockout runs.
No, absolutely. He's a really good Spanish talent, and I think you make the splash with Matthias Banana when you look at his achievements, when you look at his accolades, and how young he is as well to the scene, coming over to Europe and still continuing that form, but also pairing him with Hidalgo. It's a really smart move. Not two superstars. You've maybe signed the superstar in Matthias and then a player who is just going to get better and better alongside Matthias Banana in Hidalgo. Ducks there looking to create. You mentioned Ducks Gaming didn't have a presence at the FGS Open, Brandon, but they did have a squad there, did Ducks. It was Neat and Adriman who were trying to get a double qualification spot under the Ducks banner. They played with a slightly different name. They got quite far in the process, I think top 6 overall in the Madrid region, but unfortunately crashed out in that particular FGS Open, meaning that Ducks Gaming will only have one presence at the Team of the Season Cup.
Yeah, and that team was actually made up of Adriman and Nee, which says a lot about how difficult the competition was back in December. If you're trying to follow who is who individually in this game, keep an eye on the individual colour cursors above each individual player. So first and foremost, with the white icon above the heads, that's Hidalgo of Spain, obviously, and Team Heretics. And with the yellow icon is Matthias, the Argentine that does play his FIFA at a national level and a club level. Has been teammates as well previously with Nicholas 99, a man that won the Masters Cup just last week in his first outing with Team Guild Esports. And Nicholas Razek. On the flip side, it is Daniel Aguilar with that red icon above his head, and Ravison with the blue. We have to speak quite a lot about Ducks Gaming. They are an esports organisation that were formed by a handful of creators. That includes Real Madrid's goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois. You've got Borja Iglesias of Real Betis, the Spanish striker, and DJ Mario, a very famous content creator. Those are 3 of the names that some of the main stakeholders in this organisation sort of lifted up. And ever since they've come into the scene, they've done it their own way, have Ducks Gaming. Look at the talent they've nurtured. Look at the names they've fostered. From Gravison to Adjuman to Neat, to Daniel Aguilar, even the likes of their South American roster, which had Tazinho on it.
Yeah, I mean, so much talent, so much quality, and just if you missed that was Borja Iglesias, it's not Enrique, don't worry. However, there has been a few heroes found at Ducks Gaming over the years.
Still 0-0 in this one so far. I've had the pleasure of actually commentating with Gravison on the recent E-Champions League. I was able to catch a few words with him about his mindset and his approach to FIFA esports this year. It says, I've not played FUT Champions in weeks, I've not played 1v1 FIFA in weeks, but I've certainly been grinding 2v2 out this year. And I cannot wait for the April Team of the Season Cup. I'm sure he could not wait for this one. He went on social media earlier today and said that today is the start of a fight week for him, and that's because they have got games to play in the FIFA E Club World Cup alongside this Masters Cup. It's a big week for 2v2 FIFA esports. Him and his good friend and former competitor in Daniel Aguilar, they've had so many head-to-head meetings in La Liga over the last couple of years. Now they're teammates for this FGS season. Here comes Team Heretics looking for the cutback. Fortunately, Mbappe just running it out of play there with Matthias Banana, but often not always the case. Richard, goalless here with nearly 40 minutes on the clock in our opening game of the FGS Masters Cup.
Well, I'm not surprised. Two incredible squads, two incredible teams, four top quality players on the pitch at the same time. And from what I gather, they've been playing quite a lot of warm-up matches as well against each other and sort of sparring against each other in preparation. Two Spanish teams as well, so it makes sense that you're going to get those repetition games in there when it comes to the FGS Masters squads.
Final 2 minutes. I was about to say pretty much both of these teams are Icon and Team of the Year heavy, but the exception of Jude Bellingham just certainly shakes that one up. I'm sure we'll see a few fantasy in-game items pop into these teams. We saw a few of them on the bench as we go into half-time here. Goalless in our opening semi-final between Team Heretics and Ducks Gaming at the halfway point. We'll try and have a little look at the stats if we can to see just how narrow and tightly contested this game has been so far. There's the possession stat on your screen, just slightly in the favour of Ducks Gaming. And I mean, the XG tells you all you need to see, Richard. No one has looked near scoring a goal yet. Maybe Ducks with the slightest and the smallest of chances to get that ball forward.
Yeah, there's really been not too much at all so far in this matchup. Both teams playing a very similar formation. I think it's a variation of 4-4-2 and the 4-2-2, or maybe even the 4-4-2 second variation that Heretics are using at the moment. There's really been nothing to split these two sides. As you see, what makes me quite happy, players together in the same environment playing FIFA. Daniel Aguilar just in the background. You can see Gravison right there in his face cam. And on the other side, Matthias Banano and Hidalgo in the same location. Looks like the Team Heretics HQ as we get back underway in the second half.
So if you have just tuned in, this is your first snippet of FGS Masters Cup action. It's a $25,000 tournament every single Monday. We'll be bringing it to you in March on the build-up to the April Team of the Season Cup. Obviously, one team will walk away with $15,000 by the end of play today. If you've missed the last couple of weeks, it was XL Esports that took week one's victory. That's the duo of Gorilla and Tom. Just last week, the very narrow scoreline in the grand final by a 0-0. It was Nicholas Razek, the Argentine Nicholas 99 FC, that took that $15,000 home. It could be the first chance for Ducks to have a shot on target if they can try and find a way through. Here's Pele, looks to pickpocket a man. It's once again defended Bell by Marquinhos. I'm sure that'll be a sentence that's said quite a lot throughout tonight. He's been the star at the back alongside Ruben Diaz over the last couple of months, ever since his in-game item was introduced into the Team of the Year promo.
I'm sure Team there, Ruben Diaz looking over his shoulder at the prime icon moments. Maldini saw Maradona brought on at half-time for Team Heretics. The prime icon moments Maradona, weak for upgrade on his previous versions. But I also think he's a player that Team Heretics will be used to using, especially with the La Liga format, where you're only allowed to use players who have played or were icons who played in the La Liga and in the La Liga in the past. We've commentated that tournament, Brandon, in previous years. He's a very sort of prominent figure in those squads.
I find the whole La Liga conversation quite interesting. Obviously, I believe with the rulings is that only one player from each esports organisation can sort of feature. Oh, what a turn! What a turn! Cristiano Ronaldo! Matthias Banano, welcome to the FGS 22 season, my friend. How about that for a finish? Roulette, see you later, he says to Cafu. As he slides it in, he slides in his first goal live in broadcast for Team Heretics. And there's the breakthrough we've been waiting for on the stroke of the 60th minute in the game. It is the Argentine that's landed down in Spain for the FIFA 22 season, who will get his team off and underway in the Masters Cup.
And he absolutely loves CR7, whether it's in these particular squads or that could be a chance actually. Van der Sar's come a long way. He deals with it. Or whether it's last year and this year in the FGS restricted squads where in qualifiers you're only allowed to use maybe a team of the year or an icon player. CR7 will always feature in his squads, whether it's the Champions League, team of the group stage, whether it's the Inform. He always features. He absolutely loves Cristiano Ronaldo.
What I wanted to say before Cristiano Ronaldo came out of absolutely nowhere is that he hasn't had an easy ride as Matthias Bernardo ever since landing in Spain and being involved in his first ever La Liga season. He's been the player that's played the most games for Real Zaragoza in the league form. Obviously, it's a 1v1 league. The La Liga. Hidalgo's had a sniff in playing 1 week of fixtures, but other than that, it's mainly been Matthias. Been playing all the games for Real Zaragoza. This story gets even more interesting because last year the team that Ramison represented in that La Liga 2021 season was Real Zaragoza, so it's sort of been a change of teams or players for the Spanish club heading into this year. Have just joined us. This is leg 1 of 2. His team, Heretics, that lead by goal to nil. 90 minutes left to play here. It's Cristiano Ronaldo that's had the only goal on the breakthrough. We have to see more from Dutch gaming. Gravison and Daniel Aguilar, if there's going to be any chance to try and break down their opposing team. People round the corner, finds Mbappe. His team of the year in game item, looking to cause havoc on this far hand side. He's pulled out Marquinhos, who maybe become costly. It's a little bit of coming together at the back. Kante just about gets that under control. There's a chance to play out. 15 minutes left to play here. We need to see a bit more from Ducks, Richard.
Yeah, they've just struggled to create good chances. I mean, the only chance that we've seen of the game so far was that beautiful individual piece of skill from Team Heretics, Matthias Bernardo, to create with CR7. He managed to roulette past the player and then the sprint touch afterwards, accelerated into the box. But they certainly look the more likely, do Team Heretics, to get a second here.
Here we go, Mbappe. Lovely ball, CR7 for 2! Oh, it was timed green, he did everything right. There was just Edwin van der Sar standing strong and in his way.
Big chance, lovely little dink over the top. Created the space, they shift the ball from right to left, and on that left-hand side, it was Cristiano Ronaldo. Maybe could have taken a touch. He's already scored, though. You've probably got confidence with him. It was Matthias who hit it. Andy Green timed it, but the goalkeeper straight down his throat. Easy save for him.
Maradona just runs it out of play. He's looked electric ever since he's come on. Last 6 minutes left of this matchup. It's changes being made in the side of Ducks Gaming. We'll update you on those changes as soon as we can see them. For the privacy and the respect of both teams, we'll keep it quiet until we see any further changes. Let's have a look at the goal that has got in this game, and it did come from Hidalgo doing brilliantly well to keep possession with R9. It went into CR7 there. Roulette, see you later. The timing there was just too quick for, I think it must have been Daniel Aguilar to even react with Marquinhos there, Richard. He just got away, and you mentioned his love for Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm sure would have grown even more fonder with that finish just on the stroke of 60 minutes.
Outstanding, wasn't it? And we see there's changes coming on here, looking to make an impact similar to what CR7 has done for Heretics. Another Portuguese player coming on, Eusebio, the prime icon moments, and Johan Cruyff. On the side of Heretics, it is just Johan Cruyff coming on. They made the subs at half-time to introduce Diego Maradona as a wide player. Could be a late chance here for Ducks to potentially get a goal back. Falls to nothing in the end.
I think, to be honest, they're going to be looking to just see this one out. Interesting behaviour from Heretics there. They don't want to
There's no pressure on the ball.
Forward.
They're not pressing.
Rightly so. There's need to go forward with Ducks Gaming not wanting to press that. They know it's pretty much said and done here in leg one. Or will there be one more chance before we go into the break? Cruyff defended well. Kante does superbly. 90+1. That will do us for leg one here. And it will be the perfect start for the new esports organisation in the world of FIFA esports. You see it on your screen there. It is the duo of Matthias Bonanno and Hardago. The lead by a 1-0 at the break. With this goal, when we get back from a break, we'll have the second leg underway as we look forward to crowning our first grand finalist here in the FGS Masters Cup.
What's up guys, how are you guys doing? My name is Dani Visser, professional FIFA player for Team Gullit and AZ, and today I'm going to show you how to use the player look as a pro. Okay, so the first topic is from your fullback to your winger. Okay, so let's break down this first clip. At first you want to learn how to use the player lock, of course. You need to press L3 and R3 at the same time. You want to switch to one of your other players, in this case the winger, and you do that by flicking your right stick to your winger. Let's look at it. We get the ball with the right back. We player lock Mbappe, and then of course the important thing is not to pass it immediately, but to make a run first, because the AI will control the right back, so you don't have to worry about that. Walk into the little space in the middle, because that creates a lot of space for the other players as well. Look at who has a lot of space. In this case it's the striker. Pass it to your other striker, because that's the easy choice to score a goal and finish it. So the second topic I want to talk about is how to use the player lock in the box. We send our striker on a run, we run with our center mid, and then the second player lock happens. And in this case, our striker is completely covered, the defender is standing in front of him, no space whatsoever, but because of the player lock, we can create the space and score a goal. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. This was Dani Visser with how to use the player lock as a pro. See you soon.
Well, welcome back to the FGS Masters Cup Week 3. Before we jump into the second leg of this game, do get involved in what PlayStation have just created, an on-console tournament platform that offers a wide range of gaming titles for all of you to play in at home, where you can win loads of incredible prizes such as in-game avatars, of course dynamic themes and in-game currency, or even some cash for testing how good you are at FIFA. Competitive play available for all levels of skill. Go to compete.playstation.com and signing with your PSN ID right now if you wish to play. Get yourselves involved. Plenty of opportunities there with the PS Tournaments menu. But speaking of opportunities in this, Richard, in our FGS Masters Cup, Ducks have got it all to do to turn this one around. But for Team Heretics, they've got an opportunity of a lifetime to make their first grand final as a duo. Brand new to the FGS 22 season this year. We're back underway for the second leg.
Yeah, it feels those opportunities for everyone at the moment, Brandon. But who's going to seize the opportunities? Who's going to clutch the brass ring? That is the question. Here, second leg of action. Ducks Gaming from right to left in that black strip, and from left to right in the white, it's going to be Team Heretics. We need to see a little bit more from Ducks Gaming in the offensive third. And I'm sure we'll see that. I'm sure we'll have a little bit more attacking intent from Gravison and Danny, but just going off what we saw in the first leg, not enough potency in the attacking third for my liking.
We saw at half-time, they didn't really register any sort of chances. Did Ducks Gaming, the only goal came in the 59th minute from Cristiano Ronaldo. Other than that, there's not much to cheer about. And the winner of this goes into a grand final. $15,000 on the line. They'll be taking on the winners between Team Makers and Falcons Esports. That one plans to be a fantastic game of FIFA. And Mr. Sari will be in town. He will be live on broadcast. Our first look at him this year in the FIFA 22 season, alongside Nightwatch, Team Makers Italian duo Principe and Cosimo Guarneri, the number one ranked Xbox, so the number one ranked Italian last year in the Global Series. Here comes Arnaud, links him well with Pele. Ducks Gamer looking for a goal back. It's time green. It brings out the first real save that Van der Sar's had to do so far across the two games.
Well, they've been struggling to break down past the edge of the box, and sometimes having a dig from the edge, it can work for you. We've seen many finesse shots fly in over the top of the goalkeeper. Time green, it was a good save, and you never know where that rebound might go off the goalkeeper. What we're seeing right now is going to be the typical story of the game for me. Heretics happy with possession, happy with keeping it, and then looking to just sting this Ducks Gaming squad.
It goes down to ground. Referee says, get back up on your feet. That was Hidalgo with the blue cursor above his head, trying to pull off that reversal as to go to pull Mbappe away. Before that, with the build-up though from R9, it was Matthias, the player that scored the only goal technically on paper for this team. Heretics.
We need to see more press from Ducks Gaming. Obviously, they're not going to throw everything out and throw the game plan out the window in the first 25 minutes simply because they're not getting the ball back. But as this game goes on, they're going to have to put more bodies forward because of that early goal. I think we've seen about 10, 15 switches of play so far. There's no real pressure on the ball.
Heretics try and come forward. Ducks stand strong once again. To see more from Ducks, obviously. Keep an eye on that yellow cursor. That's Daniel Aguilar White. That's to be controlled by Gravison. The main leaders in this Ducks team. Pele just onside. Cuts it back. Here's R9. Wins a corner. The pressure will continue to build for Ducks as we go into a very, very early pause. 30 minutes played here. Not too sure exactly what's being changed, or maybe it's just a couple of words between both players and teams. So far though, Richard, 30 minutes played. What have you made of what's been quite a scrappy first 30 minutes again in this second leg?
I wouldn't necessarily say scrappy. I think it's just been... this was the save that they came closest with. Good save from the goalkeeper. You always expect him to save that green time shot from the edge from Ruud Gullit. But I would say the goal that Heretics scored in the first leg, we saw last week in our grand final, and 0-0 in the second leg. It was a lot more end-to-end, and look, there should have been a goal if it wasn't for an unbelievable Peter Schmeichel performance from Team Guild. But we've seen low-scoring games in this 2v2 format where possession and having an early lead, having money in the bank almost, can be huge in the story of a match. It enables you to play in such a sort of calm and patient way.
Speaking of patience and calmness, Hidalgo shows that exactly there, a pressure all round him. To play out well as he does now. Mbappe, here comes Matthias Banana, move for 2. It will be. And it's a counter-attack again from Team Heretics. But this time Mbappe. But once again the same scorer in Matthias Banana. 2-0 they lead. And they've just made it an absolute mountain to climb for Ducks Gaming.
That touch from Mbappe, I think it's a little right stick. I'm sure Ryan will break it down after the game. Incredible. Just to settle it, to see it away from the defender, and then the pace, the sheer acceleration from Mbappe to get away from the defender, and then, above all else, having the confidence in his left foot across the goalkeeper to fire it past him. Good goal all round, but again, it's come from being able to play at your own pace, being able to play at your own speed, knock the ball around the back, and when an opening appears, ping the ball 50, 60 yards and switch the play, and then you're in. A couple of passes later, you've got a chance on goal.
Brilliant feat here from Ducks with Arno. Pele scooping and moving his way around the box. There's just no space to really work in. Just offside is Pele. That pause will come in from the side of Ducks. You're rightly so. Be looking. Some sort of an attacking change. Remember, these are straight knockout games here with the FGS Masters Cup. Perfect experience in the first time at playing for a lump of cash. And a competitive setting for all these 2v2 teams. What a ball this could be again. More. Just a second. This one looks to come forward in the end. It is defended just about or not. Cristiano Ronaldo on turn, well recovered by Cafu. Now we go for half time. 1-0 for Heretics. On aggregate, they lead by 2-0.
And we're just going to jump in because you saw Matthias holding it at the back there. This is the goal. Quickly, I'll just talk over this. Great finish. You can see the touch just to set it away from the defender. World class from Mbappe. But what I want to really get into, there was no pressure on the ball because Ducks wasn't allowed to change. They might not have had a preset. They might not have had a tactic in place that they really wanted to go to. And you might say, well, Matthias is just holding it at the back. But if there's no pressure on the ball, there's no reason to progress up the pitch and lose it. Like, you have to press me. You're the one who's losing the game. So what we're going to see in this second half is a frantic, is an aggressive, is a sort of throw the kitchen sink approach from Ducks Gaming. I'm expecting not only tactical changes, but I'm expecting personnel and also formation changes in this second half. They're going to go for it. They're going to throw everything at it because, I mean, if you lose this game by 6 goals, it doesn't matter. It's a knockout tournament, so you have to go for it and you have to try and turn the game around. For Team Heretics, the composure and the calmness is going to be imperative. If they can keep that not only in the second half, but more importantly under pressure, which they will be put under, I think they'll see this game out comfortably. But if cracks start to appear that Ducks Gaming can apply some pressure onto them cracks, I think we could have a really, really good second half. Because if there's 2 players who are good enough to put pressure, it's Daniel Aguilar and Gravison.
You're actually thinking, sit back and look at how old they are. You think they're older than both 23 years of age, Daniel Aguilar and Gravison, respectively. They've been in the FIFA esports scene for such a long time. Certainly have a lot of experience, though, in their playing time in competitive FIFA. Mentioned cracks. That crack would be in the perfect form of the goal for Ducks Gaming. Whipped in towards the box. Oh, very nearly. He had Cristiano Ronaldo gliding that one into the left bottom corner. It wasn't for Edwin van der Sar. Able just to get 2 hands on that. Said,
look how high Cafu is.
An offensive approach. Here comes Lionel Messi now. Cafu's forward for Ducks Gaming 2. They need a goal. They need 2 goals. It's a shot from distance. And it's Ruud Gullit trying from that far out, which, I mean, they have to try something at this moment in the game when they need just a bit of hope, let alone a goal.
It looks like, to me, we've got a formation change to a 4-3-2-1. For Ducks Gaming. You can see how high sort of R9 is, and then I think it could be a couple of centre mids strikers sort of attacking players, playing as centre mids as well. Good win back by Pele. This is the intensity that we had to see from Ducks Gaming. Fullbacks are up. Not only do you have to try and get back in the game, but you have to put Heretics off their game.
Mbappe nearly put it back on a plate for Cristiano Ronaldo. That wasn't able to happen.
It's a good win.
One goal obviously would be perfect way to conclude the game, to take all the pressure off your shoulders. That's not going to be easy though. Cafu, as you rightly said, Richard, very high forward. Little Messi, also to Pele. Picks it up now, picks it up from Kante. Looks like a 4-3-3 was the change that Ducks Gamer made. It could be a running race for Mbappe. He's past one, he could be past two. It's a difficult one for Marquinhos. However, he's able to stop his Paris Saint-Germain teammate in his tracks from causing more havoc than he already has created. He's the only goal scorer so far in this game. Brilliant, well taken down, and even better finish. He came in the first 45. Messi, he's onside, can't get past Ruben Dias. A rock at the back is the Portuguese defender.
That's definitely the outball though. We've seen it 2 or 3 times already. From left back to right back, that switch of play, getting Cafu forward and trying to get the Brazilian playing that first time ball down the line into the space. But I just don't know if I don't know if they're going to get a chance.
Ronaldo about post, well recovered by João Cancelo. It was Pele that was just teeing up his run towards the back post there. Another pause comes in. That's from Ducks Gaming. I don't know if they'll even get it with ample time left in this game. Switches from left to right as they try their best to just grind down this defensive team. Heretics, they win a corner. They will get that pause, in fact. 18 minutes left to play here. And it looks like it will be those personal changes that we have been crying out for, Richard. And I even think that a team with Ronaldo is just sitting there patiently waiting on the bench.
Yeah, CR7, Eusebio, maybe a Johan Cruyff. Do you know what? I really wouldn't even... You might laugh at me for this, but with how much space they're getting at right back, if they've got like a foot birthday Dani Alves on the bench or somebody who can get forward from fullback, I think that could be the play for them. This was the only goal of the game in this second leg so far. Kylian Mbappe with a moment of magic with that touch, just taking it away from the defender, accelerated into the space, and they're the live shots as that goal went in. A grimace in the Ducks Gaming camp and a fist bump in Team Heretics, and Matthias all smiles looking towards the camera. What we got left, about 17, 18 minutes left on the clock here in our first game of the FGS Masters Cup Week 3.
And would you say that, looking at this Heretics team, Richard, there's always in those duos that one player's going to bring you a bit of flair, that one player's going to go on a solo run or create that bit of magic. From what I've seen across these 2 legs so far, it seems like Matthias Bonanno, not surprisingly, takes that sort of hat and wears it proudly for Team Heretics.
Chance?
Ducks Gaming. Off the mark, 16 minutes left to play. Cruyff does well, fresh off the bench, scoop turn in and move it in the box. But this is, I think, where Heretics are going to be happy just to keep the ball, suck minutes out of the game. That's a risky pass they didn't really need to make.
Ruben Dias. It might seem small at the time, but that could be, I say that, he just gave the ball away, but those sort of interceptions, just making sure you're in the space, in the passing lanes, are going to be so important to open up these lanes.
Look at Ronaldo,
Heretics.
watch Ronaldo, watch Pele. Oh no, he could just go on his own. Ronaldo will look to just pull away,
wasted.
well defended.
That should be the game.
What a chance. Squandered. It's just giving Ducks Gaming another hope here, Richard. Mbappe looks to cut it down. Penalty! This is where things can really turn on their heads. It's a golden opportunity now for Pele. And for Ducks Gaming to get a goal back with 10 minutes left on the clock. It's saved!
It's a must-score penalty with 10 minutes left to play. It would put all the pressure in the world on this Team Heretics side. Unless they can score directly from the corner, it won't be in vain. that penalty.
Well, well, well. We spoke about opportunities wasted, Richard. Look no further than what Ducks Gaming have just done there. Offside Mbappe. If that goes in with 10 minutes on the clock, I think you're looking at a very nervy last 10 minutes. However,
where does that chance even come from? It's come from Team Heretics not scoring. A real sort of golden opportunity. They were 3 against 1 at the back.
time is not on. Ducks game inside the organisation that was founded just a few years ago. They will be competing in the Team of the Season Cup in April. They might be waiting a little bit longer though to compete on the big stage. Bellingham, I like that from Heretics for a duo that's only 19 years of age. They show a lot of maturity on the FIFA pitch. Brilliant feat from Pele still. Will fall back every single time he does. To Heretics, they'll take a free kick. 2 minutes left here, but I think we can clearly see Richard, who'll be finding their way into the grand final tonight in week 3 of these FGS Masters Cups.
Well, there's been an influx of chances in the second half. None really taken, which is quite surprising. Little ball over the top there for Ducks Gaming. The one player you want running back, though, killing Mbappe, bags of pace. And that could seal the deal for Team Heretics. They've just about done enough in this game. I think they've always been sort of in control. The big difference is, though, when they've had their chances, they've taken them in the big moments. Yes, they could have gone 3, they could have gone 4-0 up. But the 2 big chances, the moments of magic, one from CR7, one from Mbappe, both created by Matthias Bonanno, were taken.
And that should just about do us here for the semi-final. 1 of 2, it will be Team Heretics, their first outing in the FIFA 22 Global Series as an esports organisation, has certainly looked to kick off in the perfect way possible. They knock out Ducks Gaming from these FGS Masters Cups, and they'll be into the grand final where they will either face, as we said, Team Falcons or that deadly duo, obviously, on the flip side of who that could be. We're off to a break now. When we get back, it will be Ryan Pessoa and Rachel Stringer previewing that next semi-final.
Hey guys, this is Leffy again. I'm a professional FIFA esports player for the team Gullit, and today I'm gonna do my second masterclass about skill moves. A lot of people use the reverse elastico to dribble past the opponent, but in this case I use the reverse elastico to create space and get an easy chance on goal. I get a cutback to my center mid. Here I could have chosen for the finesse shot, but obviously that's not a 100% chance, so I try to reach my striker. And when I reach my striker, most of the times I'm thinking about performing the reverse elastico. The way you perform it in this case is, because I dribble upwards, you put your right stick from the left side halfway to the right side, then it will perform you the reverse elastico, and as you can see here, an easy chance on goal. The second skill move I want to show you guys is the McKinney cancel. In this case I have some space with my right winger. I managed to get inside the box and I watched my opponent, and as you can see he was very aggressive with the center back. So I want to get the ball to my left winger, striker or cam, because they are in a 3 versus 1 situation in this case. So I chose to do the McKinney cancel. It opens up a lot of space for my striker and my cam. A very good pass into the box, and unfortunately no finish, but I get a pen from it. I've been Leffy, player from the team Gullit. I hope you guys enjoyed my second masterclass on skill moves. See you soon on the pitch.
The FIFA Global Series Masters Cups are presented by PlayStation Tournaments. Yes, guys, you're watching the FGS Masters Cup Week 3, of course, and we want you, as always, to get involved on our social channels and join in with the conversation. So just use that hashtag FGS22. We are all over socials, of course. We're on Twitch, we're on Instagram, Twitter. So come and join the conversation. Tell us what you've made for the last 2 weeks, and then, of course, of Week 3, which you're seeing right now. Ryan Pessoa is alongside me, as always. Ryan, we didn't quite get that prediction right, did we? We kind of went with the experience of Ducks Gaming. It wasn't quite to be. It was Heretics there, and in particular, Matthias Bonanno, I'm going to say.
Yeah, they scored some fantastic goals, great build-up play and skills when it mattered most. But I felt like they were very comfortable, in all honesty. Other than the final 15 minutes or so, I felt like they were in complete control.
Yeah, of course, they were in complete control. There was that little penalty mishap there, which Ducks didn't get. But Ryan's going to take us through all of this in our analysis presented by PlayStation Tournaments, where he gets to break down all the good FIFA material. Ryan, this is your favourite part of the show, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Let's take yourself through the goals that were scored in the matchup. Of course, it was Ducks up against Team Heretics. And you mentioned anyway, our prediction for Ducks to take the lead or advance was proven wrong almost straight away in the second half. It was a fantastic roulette, a touch forward for a speed through for CR7 in at the near post from Matthias. A fantastic goal there. And in the second half, again, this was a chance there for CR7. I thought if he shot across goal there, it would have found its way into the back of the net to make it 2-0. But the second goal did come in the second leg, but we're going to see some highlights from Ducks first. This was, in my opinion, the only chance they really had up until the latter stages of the second leg, and it was a comfortable save. But this was the goal to make it 2-0. Over the top from Hidalgo, straight into a fantastic touch there from Matthias into the back of the net. Mbappe's left foot giving them the safety blanket of the 2-goal lead. But this was the chance here for Ducks. They had a penalty on the 80th minute now. This is where tensions were high. If this went in, I feel like the result could have been different, but it was a save from Van der Sar, and Team Heretics will advance into the finals.
Of course, they do advance to the final now. We have to wait and see who joins them. That, of course, was the analysis presented by PlayStation Tournaments with Ryan Pessoa there. Ducks Gaming, though, let's come back to them. We'll be super disappointed, Ryan, especially we talk about the guys with the experience there, especially Gravison, who's such an emotional player anyway and loves the FIFA community. How disappointed will he be, and how will he look to bounce back quickly?
I think they'll be very disappointed, but again, there's still many opportunities throughout the season for them to compete in 1v1 and 2v2 competition. So they'll be hoping that next time they're on the stage, they can perform when it matters.
Yeah, totally. And they'll be listening to us, of course, and taking your words on board. Okay, well, let's turn our attention to the next matchup and let's have a look at the bracket and still see who is still yet to play. So Team Heretics then move their way through to the final, and we still have these two teams on your screen coming next, Makers and Team Falcons. Makers, the Italian team, and Team Falcons, the Saudi Arabian team, of course. Really excited to see how these two Masters teams get on. And Ryan, I'm going to bring you in for these because, I mean, we have to just go over to Team Falcons, don't we, and look at the King of the Jungle who's sitting there shushing everyone like he does. I mean, he always does that, of course. He's a world champion. He's the man that everyone probably wants on their team, and Dr. Nightwatch got it his way this year, didn't he?
Yep, he has, and of course, they're both fantastic players, but the key for me is MS Dasari, known as the King of the Jungle. He's won basically everything there is to win. He is a FIFA World Cup champion. And of course, he's been consistent throughout the years, not just winning the World Cup in FIFA 18, where he was crowned champion. He also finished runner-up the year after, up against Mo Alba, of course, finishing number 2 in that competition. And that's something that's not really used to. He's always been a champion. He's won numerous events, whether it's the FIFA Global Series, the World Cup. He's won events in West Asia in the qualifiers, and he's been absolutely phenomenal. A great player to watch throughout the years. Fantastic going forward. And now it's his time to compete in 2v2 tournaments where he has his teammate in Dr. Nightwatch. Again, a fantastic player. But MS Dasari, as we mentioned, and many accolades he does have. Again, he'll be hoping he can give that know-how to Dr. Nightwatch, who again has been competing for a number of years now. Fantastic competitor and person in the scene. And again, somebody that's finished in higher places in tournament, finishing second in their first E-Champions League. So we're hoping they can crown out the championship today in the FIFA Global Series Masters Cup, week number 3.
Yeah, of course, he's the professor of the game, isn't he? Dr. Nightwatch, as he likes to call himself as well, making up that duo for Team Falcons. Well, let's again switch up and see who they're going up against today. And of course, it's Team Makers, the Italian esports organisation. Talk us through their pair tonight, Ryan.
Yes, of course, Makers do have a number of fantastic players. The first one is Cosimo. I find him as a very interesting player. He's very defensively astute. He's very good going forward as well. I think he's at the perfect balance, but you can see on the screen here some of his accolades, finishing top 4 in the FIFA Global Series qualifying number 4 on PS4, and of course, finishing in the latter stages of tournaments. And his teammate, no other than Makers Principe, again, has been competing for a number of years. I believe he was the first player in the cross-console finals on PlayStation to win a tournament, and that was in FIFA 17 in the FIFA Global Series in Madrid. And since then, he's come on leaps and bounds, winning the FIFA E-Club World Cup last year for FIFA 21, so he has that experience as well.
Yeah, and back in FIFA 17, of course, that was against Gorilla, I think, the European Championship. Yeah. So he's been around a long time. A former AS Roma youth player as well. So he knows how to play football on the real pitch and the virtual pitch. That could come into play tonight. But Ryan, I'm going to put you on the spot, as I love to do. Where are you going, Makers or Falcons?
Oh, goodness, this is tough. I'll be honest. I'm going to have to say
This is because
Falcons.
you got the last one wrong.
Yeah, I did get it wrong. So I'm going to say Falcons. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Makers did win. I'm trying to cover both bases because they're Italian. They have that experience. So maybe they could win. But I'm going to say Falcons.
Ryan, you definitely didn't give me an answer there. So I'm going to leave it as that. And I'm going to go into the second semi-final with Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley, who I know will be sitting on the fence up there in the sky, ready to cast this one. They'd never like to pick a side. Guys?
Thank you very much, Rachel and Ryan. Yeah, you know us too well. We always just sit on the fence. That's what we love to do in the commentary box. Rich, we're back for another semi-final. 2 more FGS Masters teams that will be competing in the Team of the Season Cup, as we said, later on next month. Let's jump into the foot squads first and foremost to break down sort of the teams that they will be using in the matchup coming up next to this one. Rich, what have you made of both these teams so far in terms of the transfer business they have done? Because they're both Masters squads. They've both had movements within their squads as well. Principe stayed. MS Desari's come home. And they've picked up extra players alongside that.
No, I think the transfers that have been picked up have been excellent. You can see the squad on the screen there, very similar to what we're used to seeing. I think when you look at Falcons, MS Desari needs a teammate for a little while. I think the addition of Nightwatch is a really, really smart move. I think it's a really, really tactical, savvy move. I think on the other side of it for Makers, Principe, Cosimo Guarneri, Optole, Oli Bolli, they are creating a franchise. They're the only side in the entirety of the Team of the Season Cup who's got 2 teams representing the same organisation there, Brandon. There's 2 Makers squads there.
Well, nearly. The only other team that followed that storyline would have been Team Footwiz. They lost in the Europe Grand Finals back in December in the FGS Open to the hands of Levante. Nice Joanne Paptati, but absolutely right. They have got a storyline. Team Makers will have 2 teams in action in April. And the one thing that I find really interesting about that, just to add on to the conversation, in terms of the FIFA E-Club World Cup, it hasn't been Cosimo and Principe that have been playing as a duo in that tour. Principe sort of dipped in and out with Oli Bolli and Optole. I haven't seen too much of these 2 grinding together in any sort of online tournament that we have seen so far. So I'm going to be really intrigued to see how Team Makers come out into this FGS Masters Cup. So they'll be kicking from left to right to kick off this matchup. Team Falcons from right to left. They are a bit of a legendary esports out in Saudi Arabia. They were formed in 2017. Originally, if you can cast your mind back, if you're a big FIFA esports fan, they had the likes of the Royal and MS Desari on their books. Those players made FIFA E-Club World Cups. They were playing as a duo and making some serious headways and headlines and storylines for themselves, Richard. Following that, we saw MS Desari go and play for Rogue and then Tundra Esports. It's like he sort of come back home to that esports organisation in the summer of last year.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's always a pleasure to watch MS Desari on the sticks as well. We don't get to see him compete that much, being completely honest, Brandon. During the pandemic, sort of every cloud has a silver lining, and with everything being remote, we got the opportunity to watch a lot of the West Asia qualifiers where he was competing from, so we got to see him in that particular region, but it wasn't as sort of dominant as you might have expected. He didn't win every qualifier. He won the second qualifier out of the 3 that was there, and did have a really good showing as well in the playoffs of that particular region, making it through and winning the playoffs in the end. But he's just such a talent and such a enigma when it comes to FIFA esports. If you want to really focus on what Dasari is doing, he is the yellow icon on the screen. MS Dasari, Nightwatch is white, and on the other side it's Cosmo red and Principe blue on the player indicators.
His team makers looking for their first chance to go forward. Speaking of sort of consistency though, Richard, MS Dasari made his 3rd FIFA E World Cup Grand Final last year. Of course, didn't go to plan, but he, within his own right, is a runner-up after winning his first ever FIFA E World Cup back in 2018. What do you make of the roster that they've put together this year? Obviously bringing in Dr. Nightwatch, a man that literally knows this game inside and out, from meta to how the game shifts patch after patch. He's just got such an eye for detail in terms of this game as an esport and how it plays.
Yeah, I mean, I said it in the preview, I think it's a really good pickup for Team Falcons, and more importantly, I'm intrigued to see how they mesh. I'm intrigued to see how they partner up, both Dasari and Nightwatch. I imagine they've probably gone over tactics, how they're going to play, how they want to play, but it's all about doing it on the biggest stage.
Here come makers now. Pele finds R9. Can he squeeze the cross? No, he can't band this up. Just enough to pick that one up. On the flip side for team makers, in terms of team competitions, they had quite a good last year in FIFA 21. They were the FIFA E Club World Cup champions for their zone. That was Oli Bolly though, and Principe. In the summer of last year, they put pen to paper for Cosimo Guarneri, or someone known as MBD from previous years. He was the #1 ranked Italian player in the Global Series last year. Featured in 3 online qualifiers. Really made a name for himself. How good he really can be. Comes in alongside Principe. So far, they've looked all right in these first 32 minutes. Team Falcons looking for their first real sniff in at goal or in the box of team makers. Hasn't quite happened as of yet. Remember, the winner of this one will go into tonight's grand final. They'll be up against Team Heretics. Hidalgo and Matthias Bonanno battling out for $15,000. All that coming up tonight here, as we like to call it, Monday Night FIFA, as part of our FGS Masters Cups all throughout March. That one goes out for a goal kick.
We've had 35 minutes gone so far. Makers seem to be the team progressing a little bit quicker in the offensive third, looking to get the ball into the box and try and work those little intricate passes for the extra pass or the extra skill move inside the box. Not seen too much from Falcons as of yet. I'm sure they'll warm up and they'll get more used to the matchup over the course of the 2 legs.
Speaking of the captain of this team, Team Falcons, MS Dasari. It was his birthday just yesterday as he comes forward. Mbappe looks for the cutback. It might have been a slow start, but it's the perfect start for Team Falcons. There's high fives all round.
Beautiful. It really was. It was created by MS Dasari. The roulette inside the box. Just double tapped it back into R9. Simple take from his right onto his left. One touch, just shifting the ball. And Nightwatch was the player to rifle it in the top corner. High fives all round. Team Falcons, after a relatively slow 30 minutes, opening third, take the goal and the opening lead just before halftime, 1-0.
Yeah, famous coach as well in the background there. You saw Enzo, someone who in his time as coach likes of Tex and MS Dasari. So, has an incredible knowledge for the game. He travelled out to Saudi Arabia just a month ago as MS Dasari picked up his second league title for Al Ittihad. The 1v1 competition out there. As we go into half-time, it is MS Desari and Dr. Nightwatch to lead by a goal to nil. Back to the drawing board for team makers who not necessarily haven't started too bad. It's just been such a narrow and tightly contested game. You can see where most of the ball has been at the halfway point.
You just have a quick look at the stats there, Brandon. Really not too much to dissect. The only shot has been registered in a goal so far. Team Falcons with it. But for the most part, there's really not too much to look into. And also, I don't speak Italian, so I'm not going to break down each individual stat. We can have a look at the opening goal of the game here. It was scored by Team Falcons. Kylian Mbappe, he was the roulette with MS Desari. Just a really sort of snappy pass into his feet of R9. Turned it around the corner and rifled it in the back of the net. As you see Nightwatch happy with that involvement. 1-0, Team Falcons lead.
Obviously, must be seeing MS Desari flying to Europe to play this matchup today. Obviously, well, he based himself out in Saudi Arabia, but he's a man that enjoys jet-setting around the world. A two-time esports console champion, a man that's won over 18 trophies in his esports career. I'm sure if anyone, he's missed offline LAN events and cannot wait to get to the Team of the Season Cup when that does happen in late April. He'll be there alongside his teammate Dr. Nightwatch, looking to showcase how good they are as a duo. So far, they've been able to do that in the first 45 minutes as they lead by a goal to nil. Team Falcons kicking from left to right in the start of the second half. Team makers no down, kicking that white strip from right to left. Pele to drive forward, to drive Team Falcons towards doubling their lead, unable to do so. Kimi to wind their way up the field here. Kante Cancelo linking perfectly well. To pay pretty quiet FIFA 21. Top up in a few online tournaments. Got a top 64 in the playoffs. He qualified, unfortunately didn't do much more than that. Nevertheless, he's an icon in this FIFA esports scene. There could be 2-0 down. Team Falcons cuts back inside. That's perfectly done. This time, it was Dr. Nightwatch into MS Desari. And it's the team captain that strikes Team Falcons towards a 2-goal cushion.
They were trying to keep the ball, were makers. It was a switch of play that it was just a little bit too hard. They lost possession. And Falcons, for all their sort of quality, for all their technical ability and how they can pass teams and sort of really dominate play, it was quite a direct ball, just one sort of through ball straight down the middle of the pitch. It cut them open, and then the composure from Nightwatch just to offload it to his left-hand side. Simple square pass and an easy finish for MS Desari into an open goal.
For the cutback, Messi. Ronaldo, good feed. Team makers looking for a goal back in this game. Far so good. The Saudi-based esports team announced their back in FIFA esports. The FGS 22 year. One more goal. You said about money in the bank, Richard, going into a second leg. Would be the perfect scenario. Forget a 2-goal cushion, a 3-goal cushion would be a dream. We saw only in one Masters Cup game that actually happened. Oh, he does get out-muscled and comes a pause. No surprise from team makers. They have got changes to make tactically and within personnel. They hope to just get one goal back before Messi. There's a little pass around the corner, couldn't quite find R9.
Well, it was the Fnatic against Footwiz match, wasn't it? Which was quite a big scoreline difference. One of the biggest scorelines that we've seen so far in the FGS Masters. Weekly tournaments over the course of March. 4 individual winners, all building up to the Team of the Season Cup at the end of April.
There's that pause. 60 minutes left. So far, so good for Team Falcons. Mr. Sari and Nightwatch that you can see on your screen right now. Rich, we'll see the second goal quickly on stream now. Talk me through it.
Yeah, well, they turned over possession. It was 3-4 passes, and then the entire pitch just opened up. One through ball is all it needed. Good composure from Nightwatch. He just turned around, offloaded it to his left-hand side, gets the nod of approval from MS Dasari, and Team Falcons find themselves in a really comfortable 2-0 position. 15 minutes left to play here in leg number 1. They've done all that's required of them so far, and they look like, I don't want to say they're cruising, but they look really comfortable and in control of this game. I'm expecting to see something off the training ground here, just because we know Nightwatch always has something up his sleeve from a set piece.
Here we go, we're going to see it now. Played short into Mbappe. But it picks it up. Case of them keeping possession at the moment as they wait for the defensive line of team makers just to move up. Field ever so slightly. To play there, they play out. This could be a counter-attack. It's Mbappe in a running race. I doubt he's going to go on his own. Looks to bring in Messi. Mbappe's in the air. Can't lead it back down to Hula, who he had in mind. And now suddenly we go down the other end of an attack. Could be a chance for Cruyff-full players. Cut back Mbappe. One more. Team Falcons. They just make it look so easy. As they just tear apart team makers. They lead by 3-0. We said if it happens, it'll be so difficult in the second leg for team makers to try, if at all, to turn this match on its head. And they've just done it again, Richard. They lead by 3-0.
It's just that cutting edge. It's that clinical factor that Team Falcons have. Makers haven't necessarily played bad. They've just been punished for every little mistake that they've made. And Team Falcons find themselves in a perfect scenario. They're 3-0 up, going into the second leg. The world and the game is at their fingertips. And one of the most impressive performances that we've seen over the course of the FGS Masters so far.
Just as we were crying out, 35 minutes played in the first half, we said, you know, we're going to see much more from Team Falcons. They came forward, ripped apart the defence. It's that one more pass they've had. Just the simplicity of how they've been able to go forward and pull apart what has been in front of them. They're 2 minutes away, Richard, from their first result here, but overall it has been the perfect start to their 2v2 journey.
It just looks so calm, unpressured, like they're just playing a division rivals game. Oh, that had to go in. They just look so in control. And that goal right there, if that goes in at the near post, you're asking a lot, to be honest. But it's something back for Team Makers. Unfortunately, it didn't find its way into the back of the net. And it doesn't look like Team Makers are also playing in the same location together. And it looks like Cosimo might be in a bedroom. Unless he's got a big mural of Principe behind him in his bedroom, I don't think they are playing in the same location, our Team Makers.
Yeah, whether that could be the main difference here. Last chance of the game to come in from a corner. 90+1. They will make changes, but doubt they will be used. Vieira comes on for Kevin De Bruyne. And it goes. Could be a chance for Ronaldo, headed away by Hullet. And that will do us at the halfway point. What a start to 2v2 FIFA for this new reformed Team Falcons team. And at the halfway point in this second semi-final of the FGS Masters Cup. They lead by 3-0. A perfect start for the duo of Dr. Nightwatch and Mr. Sari, but will they be able to continue it in the second leg? We're back after this short break to find out if they'll make the grand final.
What's going on, guys? Olelito here, I'm back. Now, in this masterclass, I will be showing you the attacking abilities that comes with the 4-5-1 second variation. We're starting with the wing here. We're getting the ball into the middle, and we have the ball with our right CM, and then turning it on to our central CM. And as you see here, we have the perfect triangle. So if I were to pass it to my left CM here, I can go for a direct pass to my other CM again, because I have this triangle, and the centimeter that he is selecting, he can't do anything because he can't put pressure when he basically is defending against 3 midfielders in the middle. The thing I do here though, with my central center mid, I'm passing it to my left center mid, and as I showed you on the tactics before, my left center mid is always unbalanced. And why? That's because I want him to make a run in behind to be able to maybe get the ball in a later stage of the attack. And the thing that happens then is that I'm doing an L1 pass with my left center mid, which makes him create a run in behind afterwards. And we find the pass back to our center mid, as you see here, finding it to the right center mid. The thing that happens here is that I see that my striker is in the middle. And why is he? Yeah, because I used him on stay central in my instructions. So he's staying central, he is the target man. I found my left center mid, and he's almost scoring because of it. Thank you so much for watching my masterclass. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, see you on the pitch.
Welcome back to the FGS Masters Cup. You join us in week 3 as we kick off this second leg very shortly of our second semi-final. If you have been enjoying the action of these FGS Masters teams, well, make sure you check out the Team of the Season Cup, between April 29th through to May 1st, where all 16 Masters teams will be competing alongside the 16 teams that qualified from the FGS Open back in December. That one plans to be an incredible 3 days of FIFA action. You join myself, Brandon Smith, and Richard Buckley for the call of that in April, but also for the rest of the action to play today here, Richard. At the halfway mark, it is Team Falcons a lead by 3-0. Is it too much to ask, though, Rich, for Team Makers, who trail massively at the halfway point?
It's a lot to ask. Certainly, I think they've just looked off the pace a little bit, to be completely honest. Team Falcons have turned up. They're playing well. And Makers have to play at that level in order to try and take out Team Falcons. You can see the bracket right there. Who's going to be matching either Makers or Falcons in the final? It's going to be Team Heretics. That's going to be coming up in about 30 minutes' time. But until then, we need to find out who it will be in our grand final, whether it's Team Makers or Team Falcons. Second leg underway.
Here we go. Team Falcons able to create a huge lead and a huge advantage at the halfway point Between the two legs, the duo of Dr. Nightwatch and MS Dasari seem to be hitting off perfectly well so far in a newly formed Team Falcons duo for the FGS 22 season. They come on the attack with the first chance of the game, just offside. Kicking from left to right in that black and green strip. And for Team Makers, they have it all to do. Cosimo Guarneri and Principe, face of FIFA Esports that seemingly he's never left Team Makers, Richard, in all his time of being a FIFA pro, playing back from FIFA 17 to where he is today. And in that time, he has been able to achieve quite a lot within his competitive career.
Oh, by far one of the longest standing FIFA Esports players at a organisation or a football club for that matter. He's probably up there with what? Danny at Ajax in terms of the length that he's been at a team. Jamodo as well at Footwiz is probably right up there as well.
In that time, as you know, he was the first ever lad to win on the PlayStation back in those cross-contour final days in FIFA 17 in Madrid. Neat Club World Cup champion, a man that's been to grand finals. And in this new 2v2 format, he's one of our Masters teams alongside Cosimo. However, going to plan so far. If you're looking to keep an eye on who is who exactly, it is Dr. Nightwatch with the blue icon, MS Dasari, the red icon above his head. They come forward looking for goal number 4. Oh! Very nearly they squeeze it in. It goes for a corner as the pressure continues to build on Team Makers. Good for them. That yellow cursor is Cosimo. And with the white icon above his head defending Ronaldo on your screen now is Principe. If you're looking to control individual movements, brilliant save. As it was MS Dasari letting rip from 30 yards out with the finesse there from Kevin De Bruyne. You know who we already know, sorry, who's got an incredible long shot.
What a player. What a player Kevin De Bruyne is. He can do everything, attack and defend, and he's not really one of the most common selections in these squads, but he's certainly doing the business here for Falcons.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful play. Great save.
If it wasn't for that very small deflection, it would have been 4 goals to 0. Team Falcons want to put this game to bed. In the first third of it, in it goes, defended well. A chance to break for Makers if they can squeeze past N'Golo Kante. They can. Mbappe, they've got white shirts bombing forward now. This is where they can be dangerous. It's Pele into R9. Is there a cutback available? Principe looking to dance his way into the box. It was a really ambitious angle. R9 still just about wins a corner. He had all the skill moves in the world there. Cancelo finds R9.
The next goal is everything. If Makers get it, we could have a game on our hands. If Team Falcons get it, unfortunately, I think it's all she wrote.
Team Makers, as we said, have had a brilliant start to 2v2 FGS tournament player. They're the only organisation that've got 2 teams in April in that Team of the Season Cup. They've got their Swedish side of Oli Bolli and Optole. They could be 4-0 down. They will be. It's just so simple from Team Falcons. It's so quick. The counter-attack is perfect every single time they go forward. They know where each other are on the pitch. They know how to finish the ball perfectly. It wasn't even a green time finish from Mbappe there.
It didn't need to be, did it? It just looks like Team Falcons are better drilled, better equipped for this grand final, and I should say for this semi-final, going into the grand final very shortly. And they just look slicker in everything: passing, defending, player switching, pressing the ball, the moments of play, and the actual build-up play, the patterns of play. Makers, unfortunately, just haven't performed, and they'll know that. They'll know that they've not played to their best level, and maybe this result might get away from them and potentially spur them on going into that Team of the Season Cup, that they're not going to suffer a defeat like this. But at the moment, Team Falcons are just turning it on.
Very nearly MS Desari sending them to a 4-goal lead. Not once, but twice. R9 over the bar. And we said the next goal was going to be poignant and, if anything, tell us which way this game is going to go. Surely, I don't know why we haven't seen it. You're 4-0 down, Richard. Where's the pause through 3 at the back, and why are we not going for this game?
Well, there really should be a sort of an attacking intent, but maybe team makers, ball whips into the box, could be a chance, just couldn't quite flick the ball over his head. Maybe there's discussions and communication being put in place there. There certainly looks to be more attacking intent. You can see the line slightly higher up. The midfielders are pressing the ball a little bit more aggressively, but they're not really finding any success with those changes.
Bapo now. Played defensively.
What a ball.
Sound needs to be a finish! Principe! The captain of this side, the face of Makers Esports for the last 4 years, is just somehow picked that one out from the air of R9, and it's more of a wake-up call. It's just something for them going for, because they've had absolutely nothing.
It was a good finish, but the pass was outstanding. Saw it, quickly dinked it over the top. And what you can't do, what you can't afford to do, is score a goal like that and then just give the ball away in a bad area. They got away with it on that occasion, did Makers, and potentially gives them a little bit of confidence coming into the second half. A second goal would give them a world of confidence. Doesn't fall to anyone at the back post. This game's not over yet. This game's not over.
Green. He had it timed green, did Pele, there at the halfway point. It might be 4 goals for an aggregate, but Team Makers have got their first goal in the FGS Masters Cup. You've rightly said it's not going to be the end to this towel just yet. 45 minutes left to play here. We cried out for attacking changes. We see the stats at half-time. You can see the XG there, of course, in the favour of Team Falcons. Richard, talk me through the highlights so far of what we've seen in this game, if we get to see them very shortly indeed.
They just dominated the early stages of the game, Brandon. This is not highlights, back underway. We'll be checking in at the end of the game with Ryan Pessoa to break down all the best moments in your PlayStation analysis. But the Generals' play at the moment, the first, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes was very dominant in terms of Falcons. They got that goal back to go 4-0 up, and then Makers just sort of turned it on. They turned the switch in the last sort of 5-10 minutes and looked to push more bodies forward. They got a goal back, however, they need more than one. They need another 3 if they want to get back into this game.
Oh, wow. This could send it, Richard. I mean, you said they need more than 1. They need 3. Make that 4 now. Kevin De Bruyne. He's a player that doesn't feature really at all across the other FGS Masters teams we've seen. It's mainly been the likes of Kante and Hullet, or Hullet and even Jude Bellingham. But the Belgian Team of the Year's midfielder features in Team Falcons roster for a reason. And every single time they go forward, they just seemingly make it look so simple, so routine. As you take the words out of your mouth, Richard, they seem really well drilled with how they want to be playing their FIFA this year. Makers come forward, it's an own goal off the knee of Ruben Diaz. And after just 9 minutes from the restart, I've already got the goals flying in today, 2 of them in just 9 minutes. 3-goal cushion, though, still in the hands of Team Falcons.
And what a two-legged game this has been. 5-2 currently, Team Falcons lead. It was R9 did get credited with the goal because I think it was already going in as it bounced in off Ruben Diaz. Team Falcons know exactly what this game requires. It just requires a little bit of patience, a little bit of sort of tactical play, which, look, if there's 2 players who you say FIFA esports and tactics in the same sentence, my mind instantly goes to Nightwatch and MS Desari. These 2 know the game inside and out. They know what it takes formation, sort of in the formation department, in the tactical department, and in the game management department to see a game out and to dominate a match. I think that's the best way of describing it. I'll be absolutely shocked if they allow this game to get back into sort of a really competitive match.
I think you're looking
It's
at
just not in
players
their
here,
nature.
as you said, Richard. Yeah, it's not in their nature. You're speaking of players here that know the game inside and out, know how to see out matches. You're looking at MS Tassari, who's been a world champion. He's been able to win 18 trophies in his career. But tonight, watch, rightly in his own respect, has been any Champions League grand finalist. He was part of the first ever 8 players to make it to a Champions League grand final, which feels years ago, which it certainly was. It's more than years ago. In FIFA 19, the first ever trip to Madrid. He was a runner-up in that tournament. Still the experience he gained from that competitive year. Playing in FIFA E-Club World Cup to the likes of Team Clash and you'll know Clash Crazy. This time round, one hell of a partner he's got in MS Tassari. Finesse from distance, tips over the bar from Van der Sar. 20 minutes left to play here, and we'll jump into a pause menu for what will be the final changes of today. The last real roll of the dice as well, Richard, for Makers with whatever they've got left to throw at this Team Falcons team.
Well, they're 3 goals down with 20 minutes left to play. We can see some of the best moments from this second leg so far. The beautiful play from Team Falcons right there. Ivan Nightwatch and MS Tassari. Makers did get a goal back, though, just before half-time. It was that lovely dink over the top. Beautiful play. R9 smashed it into the back of the net. As you see, Cosimo's live reaction as that went in. And a chance here for Team Falcons, which they did score with Kevin De Bruyne. Back underway in the live action, so you don't miss a beat with 20 minutes left to play.
Corner for Team Makers off the training ground. What has the Italian duo got for us? They play it short to João Cancelo, find Mbappe. Is there any more way forward past what seemingly seems to be just a wall of black and green shirts? Cut back, Ronaldo's got a lot of space! Wow! They've done superbly well there to move from left to right, back across to find Cristiano Ronaldo's head. And now the gap is only 2.
Here we go, Team Makers. This is what we wanted. This is what we needed to see. We needed to see a reaction. And boy, have we. CR7, green-typed header. It was a long way out there, Cristiano Ronaldo, but he's hit the back of the net. Nothing Van der Sar could do against it.
Chance.
But
Pass back. This could just kill it. This could kill any momentum that's been built here from Team Makers. Just down to ground.
Here we go.
They haven't yet been questioned, Richard, or sort of shook so far in the 2 legs of Team Falcons. Are we going to see that happen? There's only 10 minutes left to play here. Tonight, watch MS Tassari. Possession. Happy to keep possession. Take even more time out this game as they move from right to left. Nicely done. Kimi in at left back, cut back, concludes the game. Was it ever in doubt? It certainly isn't now.
We know our grand final. It's going to be Falcons against Heretics. Beautiful play, really was. They kept hold of the ball, they kept recycling it, they just waited until they wanted to puncture into the box, until they wanted to really kick it into 5th gear. As soon as that through ball went into the gap, it was a simple cutback. Johan Cruyff off the bench, arriving late into the 6-yard box, who just poked it past the goalkeeper. And after a late scare from Team Makers, Falcons will come out victorious in the end. Just a good performance. They did the damage in the first leg with that 3-0 victory. In the second leg, it's been a tightly contested affair, and I think Team Makers will come out of this game. Yes, they might have lost overall, but they put up a really good display. If you just take this second leg performance as an individual game, it's 3-3. You can't complain with that. Yes, things need tweaking. Maybe some of the bolts need tightening up, but a lot of things to work on for that Team of the Season Cup. They can take the footage and they know what to improve.
Well, there we have it. A 9-goal thriller between Team Falcons and Team Makers. It will be that duo, though, on your screen of MS Dasari and Dr. Nightwatch that book a spot in the grand final. Commiserations to Team Makers. They'll be back for April. However, there's only 2 teams that remain here in the FGS Masters Cup. It's Team Falcons up against Team Heretics. We're off to a quick break now. When we get back, it will be Rachel String and Ryan Pessoa previewing our big grand final.
Hey guys, my name is Max. I'm a professional FIFA player for Complexity Gaming, and today I'm going to teach you how to use the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow second variation. So for our first pattern here, we're going to be looking at how we use fullbacks to create space when attacking. Once we win the ball back, the first thing that I do is I trigger my fullback on a run manually. So now you see my fullback at the top of the screen. He's running down the right side, and so is my striker. That leaves 2 attackers down the right side, and he only has 1 left back. Once I recognize this, I have the ball with my center mid and we just play the ball. Now here in this position, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys running, darting into the box, and he has 5 defenders that can cope with it. So I look into the box, I see there's no one there initially, so I have to recycle the play and go backwards. An open pass comes back, my center mid drops back, and then we're going to just keep passing. There's an open guy almost always in the narrow around the box. As we mentioned earlier, we got tackled, but the key thing is that we managed to advance the ball into his box off of like a 5-second attack. Hey guys, thank you for watching my 4-1-2-1-2 masterclass video. See you on the pitch.
The FIFA Global Series Masters Cups are presented by PlayStation Tournaments. Yes, guys, welcome back to the FGS Masters Cup Week 3. The final is coming your way, but not before we ask you again to join us in the conversation on social media. Just use that hashtag FGS22. We're everywhere, of course. We're Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. We always love to hear your thoughts on everything we broadcast. I mentioned the finals coming your way. That's because we've already had 2 semi-finals. Let's have a look at how the bracket has played out so far. You've been in for a treat tonight, guys. Ducks Gaming earlier took on Team Heretics. We know what that one ended. 2-0 to Team Heretics. They booked their spots in the final first and had to wait for that game between Team Makers and Team Falcons. 6-3 to Team Falcons in the end. They join Team Heretics in tonight's final. And I'm going to say, This is going to be pretty special. Ryan Pessoa joining me as always. Ryan, that semi-final we just saw was slightly one-sided in leg one, but then it really did turn its head, and Makers, I thought they were in for a comeback. But let's kind of go now to this final, which we've got Heretics Team Falcon. I mean, this is very much, isn't it, the old versus the new. If we said that was the case with Ducks and Heretics earlier, this is certainly the case, isn't it?
Yep, it really is. We saw one end of the spectrum with Falcons. It felt as if every time they attacked, they could score. And then with Heretics, they defended as if they could defend for games on end and not concede. So I think this one will be tough to call.
Yeah, I mean, Heretics, I think they'll be really up for this one and trying to prove they are forced to be reckoned with, obviously, in these Masters teams. Okay, well, they are the two teams that are coming your way in the final. But I want to ask you guys at home, who will win? At the moment, it looks like you're predicting Team Falcons. That could change, of course. 89 at the moment to 11% Team Heretics. Obviously, put who you think is going to win in the Twitch chat, and hopefully you'll get it correct. We'll have to wait and see, of course, won't we? Okay, well, Ryan Pessoa, we are really going to test you now because we have the analysis presented by PlayStation Tournaments from that semi-final. There were only, 9 goals in it? I mean, you might have your work cut out here, but we know you love this, so take it away.
Yes, ladies and gents, you might need some popcorn for this analysis. This is going to go on for quite some time. There were a lot of fantastic goals between these two fantastic teams. Falcons up against Makers, and it was the first leg between these two, and it was Team Falcons starting off fantastically well there, but Mr. Sorry with a roulette into Dr. Nightwatch with R9, who puts it into the corner. That is the first goal we saw between these two, and the second goal came shortly after the break, and it was a simple goal, pass across there from Mbappe, an open goal for MS Asari to finish. 2-0 up now. And again, a simple ball over the top there for Johan Cruyff to latch onto. A fantastic drag-to-drag cancel, played across, and then green timed finish from R9 Ronaldo. 3-0 in the first leg. You think it's all done. The only way Makers could get back into this is if they scored early on. There'd be a lot of gaps for them to do that, and there was some gaps. We see Mbappe straight away, and it was Team Falcons who get that fourth goal. But Makers did respond just before half-time. It was Mbappe tackled CR7, a great ball over the top to R9 Ronaldo, put into the top of the net, the roof of the net. 4-1. If they got some goals back, there could be a comeback on the horizon, and it was a mistake, a vital error. And again, a simple pass, the extra pass to Kevin De Bruyne. 5-1. It looks as if it's all over, but Makers do respond. Again, a ball played in behind the defense. R9 Ronaldo, it comes off Ruben Diaz. It probably would have found the back of the net anyway, but 5-2, all to play for. 20 minutes left. If Makers could get a goal here, it's game on. And it's great build-up play with R9 Ronaldo, twisting and turning, played across, and a fantastic green-timed header from CR7, giving Makers that glimmer of hope. And it was the nail in the coffin, though. Fantastic patience from Team Falcons. Great decisions, great passing, great finishing. And that was it. That was the game over as Team Falcons advanced into the finals.
Ryan, that was the analysis, of course, presented by PlayStation Tournaments. You go and get a drink now. I mean, Richard and Brandon had each other to cast that through 2 legs. You had to do 9 goals in the highlights there. Sack the production team. They made you work for your money tonight. I'm only joking, guys. Love you, really, at home. EA, let's switch up to Team Heretics then, because I feel like the pressure is slightly off after what we just saw there of Team Falcons. The pressure is firmly on the Falcons' back, I'm going to say, because they're so dominant. The polls backing them, of course. But these youngsters, they must be quite confident after their 2-0 win earlier over a really dominant Ducks gaming side. We can see those 2 goals they did manage to score earlier. Matthias Banana, of course, getting both of them, Ryan.
Yes, and they were fantastic utilizers of skill moves in certain areas. The roulette, it's just fantastic. In at the near post from CR7 after the speed boost. And then the second goal, the only other goal in the game, was again, it was Matthias with a first-time flick over Kante, in a goal with Mbappe into the corner. 2-0, as we say. They don't really have a lot of pressure in terms of what the polls are saying. Sort of reminiscent to the first week when it was XL up against Fnatic. But again, I feel like it's all to play for. We could see a surprise.
Yeah, well, surprise is what we love on here. We love an upset, of course, and especially being English, we always love the underdog to win. I'm actually not going to say there's particularly an underdog, though, right now. We've got, obviously, the Spanish team going up against a team from Saudi Arabia. This is going to be interesting. This is FGS Masters Cup Week 3, the final. Who are going to join Excel and Guild, who have already lifted our virtual cups, we're going to say, Ryan, in this one. We're about to find out. We're heading it over to Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley to call this third final.
Thank you very much, Rachel and Ryan. Yes, grand final time for a third week in a row here, Richard Buckley. $15,000 on the line, but only one team can take that crown. I mean, what a run of games we've had tonight, Richard. Two very different semi-finals, a 2-0 over 2 legs, and then a 6-3 9-goal thriller over 2 legs as well. What are you making of both teams coming into tonight's grand final?
Simply, it's attack versus defence. You've got Falcons who score a lot of goals, Heretics who don't concede. I think when you look a lot more in-depth than that, we're probably looking at maybe the tactical edge you would give to Team Falcons. I think the young lions, I want to call them, in Team Heretics, you can see their squad on the screen right there. They're going to want this. They're going to want to prove to everybody in the FGS Masters and the Team of the Season Cup that we are a force to be reckoned with. We are going to make a statement. And is there any bigger statement than beating MS Desaria and Nightwatch in a grand final? To me, I don't think there is. And I know we put the polls up quite a lot. I think the polls, I don't read too much into it. I think there's a lot of fans who support MS Desaria probably voting. And also, I think there's a smidgen, all I'll say is a smidgen of recency bias in the polls as well. It's going to be a great game. I'm very excited to see how it goes. Team Heretics against Team Falcons.
As we said, this is the one, $15,000 on the line. 2 legs of FIFA will decide it. Who will join the winners list of Excel Esports, Guild Esports. Those are the 2 teams that have already found their way to glory in these FGS Masters Cups. And what does it do for these teams, Richard, as a boost going into April's Team of the Season Cup? Because it's, for a lot of these teams, their first outing in a competitive environment with a serious lump sum of cash on the line.
It just calms everything down. If you can go into that being a winner of one of these 4 weekly tournaments, you know that you are one of the best. You know that there's a reason that you should be here, because, I mean, when you look at Matthias and Hidalgo, maybe some of the only LAN experience that they've got is playing at the Liga Santander as well, Brandon. They've not had huge amounts of competitive experience, so in terms of LAN events, but what they are winners, especially Matthias Bonanno. When you look at his record, I think over 8 or 9 tournaments that we've seen him compete at over the last 2 years, he's never placed outside the top 8 of a tournament. That is absolutely crazy. Like, that is an incredible stat.
The biggest stat that I like, Richard, is that out of 7 tournaments in FIFA 21, he won 4 of them. FGS qualifiers, CONMEBOL Libertadores, well, that just concluded yesterday. PH finally getting his crown as a champion after a long wait. But on the flip side, here's a stat for you. MS Desaria has played in 14 finals in his career as a FIFA esports player. He's won 12 of them. When he gets to the grand final spades, he doesn't often lose, and that included a FIFA World Cup in there as well. So not just any grand final.
Could have gone back-to-back. Obviously, when he did lose out to Mo Alba in 2019, that would have cemented himself as the greatest player to ever play the game. That debate will be in question. I'm sure it will be a talking point when we see the world's best competing at the end of April in the Team of the Season Cup.
This is going to be an interesting test for the duo of Hidalgo and Matthias Bonanno. They haven't really been tested defensively as of yet. No offence to Ducks game, but they didn't score a single goal against them in the 2 legs that they had in our first semi-final earlier today. What we know about Team Falcons, though, they've made it look simple going forward. It'll be so simple in this one, with the serious lump of cash on the line as well. Nicely done ball roll there from Cristiano Ronaldo. Just pulls away from the player. Still keep an eye on who exactly. It was Matthias Bernardo that scored both the goals in the last semi-final. Keep an eye on him, controlling that red cursor again on your screen. Hidalgo, his teammate, controlling the blue. It does feel like there's always that in a duo, Richard, in this 2v2 format. We've seen it firsthand with the likes of Tex, with the likes of potentially even Gorilla, the potential of Matthias Bernardo here. There seems to be that one man in the team that has that extra skill or two up their sleeve, or the solo run as Team Falcons can't find a way through again.
It's all about just how you mesh as a team as well. Confidence is a real key component to 2v2. If you've got one player who you know can pull out a skill move or a mazy run in and around the box, you let them do that. You don't restrict something like that can go on and win you a game. The best 2v2 teams are the best teams that combine together. It's not the best two individual players, it's the best two individuals that can make a team, and they make each other better and they push each other on.
And I think what we've heard in interviews as well from a lot of these 2v2 Masters teams is that, you rightly said, don't restrict a player that's got so much quality, and that has not been the case yet. It's a case of, I know he likes to do skills, I know that he likes to go on these solo runs, and we've seen the combinations of Mbappe, R9, the list goes on, these players that have got 5-star skills and can do a lot. And seemingly, it's been the difference. A lot of teams scoring more goals, some of those being massive goals, as we saw just last week. The grand final over 2 legs was only a 1-0 win for Guild Esports. We haven't seen that many goals in some of the big games here. That's because it's just been so competitive, and I mean, it's double the people defending on the pitch, which makes it even more difficult to find any sort of room, as you just see there. Team Heretics stand strong defensively to not let Team Falcons through. Possession given back low. That's where Mr. Sari and Dr. Nightwatch seamlessly just seconds later.
I think this will be a very low-scoring affair. I think it's going to be a really sort of high-level game. Cross-whipped into the box, he just sent him forward.
Very nearly. Killing Mbappe's feet. Quite, though. It's been the extra pass for Team Falcons. That's been their sort of storyline. Jordan with the last chance of the first 45 hit. Such a play, finds the feet. João Cancelo, Team Falcons looking to build. Ronaldo can't find his pass that he was looking for, and that should do us at the halfway mark with nothing really to talk about so far. We expect this to be a competitive grand final, and that is everything that is, if not more so far. The XG stat is literally 0.0 on both sides of the field, as 0 shots have been registered so far.
You see both live player cams right there. Jumping into Team Heretics, Hidalgo and Matthias Bernardo. Possession slightly in favour of Team Falcons at the halfway point at the moment. The passing accuracy quite low for both of these sides. You expect it to be 92, 93 average, almost 5% lower than you would expect for an average game of competitive FIFA, 89 and 88% respectively at the halfway point. We will be played over 2 legs here in this FGS Masters Cup Grand Final. This is week 3 of the action. 4 more teams will be competing next week, which I'm very excited to see. It's been a great tournament though, hasn't it, Brandon? Over March, every single Monday, seeing the best teams in the FGS competing and going at it.
Yeah, it's just sort of filled that void, hasn't it, where we didn't get to see, unfortunately for no fault of anyone's, January's Team of the Year Cup with 32 2v2 teams battling out in that tournament. It's allowed us to have a little bit of a starter, a first taste of how good these FGS teams will be heading into April's Team of the Season Cup, which, as we said, if you haven't got it in your diaries yet, April 29th through to May 1st. It will all unfold. Still goalless here as we're back underway for the second leg. Team Falcons kicking from left to right in there. Black and green strip. Spanish organisation, Team Heretics. Kicking from right to left in the white. Lovely ball forward. It's Matthijs Banana that finds his teammate in Hidalgo. They've been playing a lot of FIFA together as a duo, and individually this year in La Liga they've been representing Real Zaragoza. It's the esports kit that they do represent in this matchup with the white shirt and blue shorts. So far they've had a good start to the season. They sit second in the La Liga table. It's a 1v1 competition, so mainly it's been Matthijs playing most of the games. Teammate and former player of Villarreal, Hidalgo, has popped in once or twice. Here's Team Falcons now. De Bruyne finds Mbappe. Roulette looks for the one more. It's been the storyline of them so far. He tries to La Croqueta and find a way around the box. Credit where it's due, Richard, to both Hidalgo and Matthijs for not diving into the tackle there.
Yeah, he just went for that reverse elastico. I thought the extra pass might have been on. Didn't elect to play it in the end. Wanted the clear-cut golden opportunity, and I really like what Falcons are doing. They probably watched that match earlier where Heretics took on Ducks Gaming, and possession was something that was really prominent for Team Heretics. They've not allowed them to keep hold of the ball. They've applied pressure where needed to. They've made sure that they're almost double pressing in areas to not allow them the time on the ball. Whipped into the box, he tracked it well as Ruud Gullit was the player searching forward. But nothing coming out of that whip from Heretics. Even game so far.
As we said in the preview to this one, what makes this one so exciting is you've literally got two duos formed of players that have final experience. I mean, sort of captain on either side of the team too. Had taste of winning tournaments. As Desari, respectively, obviously, a name that does not need to be introduced. Well, 12 out of the 14 finals he's played, and those have not just been one-off showcase matches. Those have been playoffs, E-World Cup. Huge tournaments. That's on the flip side for Matthijs Banana. Most of his achievements came in the last year. His first year, we saw him compete on the global stage. Very happy to play at the back are the two players. That's been an element of their game that's been impressive. Their composure, both 19 years of age.
Great switch.
If switch of play will find Hakimi, could find Pele. Oh, he's just hit down the goalkeeper's throat.
Big chance. It was a beautiful switch of play. They kept on switching it from left to right, and then that diagonal into Hakimi. He just nodded it down into the path of Pele. A little bit of goalkeeper movement. Van der Sar was central, just couldn't quite loft it over the top of the goalkeeper. Chance here for CR7.
Oh, wow. CR7! That time! He's not missing! And surprise, surprise! Who is it? It's the Argentine that's loving life for Team Heretics, who finds the only goal in this game. 75 minutes in the clock. It comes from that same sort of switch of play, but the difference this time, it was quicker and it was time green by the man that he loves to use, Cristiano Ronaldo, who was able to squeeze that one into the back of the net with absolute ease there. We'll see it again on the replay, Richard, how it all came together. Pele picked it up, played it into R9, cut it back, or didn't cut it back, sorry, looked to drop the shoulder, and then found Cristiano Ronaldo, Mr. Reliable.
The only reason they had that chance, though, was because they won the ball back so high up the pitch with Pele. He was sprinting back, he nipped it out of the defender, sort of picked his pocket, knocked it off to Pele, and then the run from CR7, winning the ball so high up the pitch. The fullbacks weren't in line, the centre-backs were a little bit askew, enabling to just loft it over the top of that centre-back. And you're saying to Ronaldo then, this is your chance, go and score the goal for me. It bounced up nicely for him, and he rifled it past the goalkeeper into that bottom left corner.
Oh, well. We have a breakthrough, and we have our first goal. Foot Fantasy Alan Saint-Maximin comes on. We teased that he could be involved in a few teams. He is involved off the bench for the Spanish esports team. Looking towards that post, well, it will be there, unfortunately. Headed out for a goal kick for team, oh, sorry, a corner ball, it said, I should say. Looked like it was going out for a goal kick. Cruyff over it. Mbappe short, goalkeeper moved onto the edge of the box just to limit the chance. Mbappe goes on his own, whips it all the way across, it falls to Marquinhos of all players. He's going to look to get rid of that as soon as possible. Recycle back well, they're happy to keep possession here, really professional performance this has been so far.
Well, they're just in pole position now, really. They've got that goal in a very similar position to what they were in the semi-final against Dux Gaming, where they got the first goal. They led 1-0 at the break in play between the two legs, and in the second leg, just knocked the ball around the back, kept possession, defended, I would say perfectly. There was a couple of chances for Dux. They defended extremely well. And they just picked them off, got the second goal, 2-0 victory, and saw themselves into this grand final. It's going to be a real tough ask for Falcons to break down those white shirts, because it's a wall.
Kimmich trying his best just to do what he can against João Cancelo. Added time of a minute, they look like they're halfway towards their first win as a duo. Lofted ball, could find Cruyff. Well played, you. Ruben Dias there with the all-important touch. That could have been a very different ending to the halfway point in our grand final of the FGS Masters Cup. But it is Team Heretics the lead by a goal to nil. Cristiano Ronaldo with the only goal so far in this one so far. It will be all to do for Team Falcons in the second leg if they want to try and find a way back in this FGS Masters Cup. You'll find out after this short break if Team Heretics will pick up the trophy here.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jamie here, professional FIFA player for Team Footwiz, and today I am back with another EA Masterclass. I'll be focusing on my 2 attacking presets in-game that help you get a goal back when you need to get a win. So in this situation here, as you can see, 2-1 down with about 20 minutes to go in the game. So it's not quite last chance saloon yet. I switched to my attacking tactic, which is press after possession loss. I want to win it back as soon as I lose it in attack. As you can see here, we unfortunately lose the ball and turn it over, but however, our players straight away pressing after we lose our possession to win the ball back in an attacking position, which then means we have an easy shot on target we wouldn't normally have. And now I want to talk to you guys about my ultra attacking tactic, which is my high risk and a high reward last chance saloon tactic on FIFA 22. So as you can see here with our ultra attacking tactic setup, we do lose the ball in our opponent's box late on in the game. However, the importance straight away, as you can see on the mini-map, in this freeze frame of having 90 depth on our team. The only 2 players that are back are our centre backs, and that's all you want. Every single other player on the pitch is high up and obviously constant pressure on as well. It means they're suffocating my opponent, and as we progress the clip, we're able to win the ball back in a position like this where we're swarming my opponent's defense and we're able to win the ball back quickly. So that was my attacking and ultra attacking masterclass for you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the pitch.
welcome back to the FGS Masters Cup for the final time tonight before we bring you this second leg of our grand final. We have to tease this to you. Next Monday, we will conclude week 4 of the Masters Cup. We'll have Complexity, Atlanta, Inter Esports and SPQR, the Brazilian esports organisation, all competing here in this very platform on Twitch and on YouTube. Make sure you tune in next Monday to find out. 6 PM UK time, that does kick off. And also remember, if you have been enjoying watching these FGS Masters teams, they will all be in action, all 32 of them, the 60 Master teams and the 16 teams that qualified from the team of, the Open. There was no team of the year, it was the Open FGS tournament that took place back in December. We'll see 32 teams battle out in April 29th to May 1st. And last but not least, before we jump into our game, get involved on social media if you are a fan of any of us, our Masters teams, or anything regarding foot or FIFA esports. Get involved on Instagram, Twitter, of course, where you're watching live now, Twitch or YouTube, for lots of everything that you want to know, whether that's reveals, latest news, live esports events, masterclasses, and much more. Because we got a few FIFA main events, haven't we, Richard, on the YouTube channel of EA FIFA Esports?
Yeah, we certainly have. And if you do miss any of the action from the FGS Masters, you can catch all the finals on there at the moment, or watching back that first week between Fnatic and Excel a couple of days ago, taking some notes ready for the team of the season cup, which is only around 5 weeks away. This was the best moments from leg number 1. They left it late, did Team Heretics. Pele had a big chance, and don't worry, you're not watching Deja Vu. No, different player and a different result. It was CR7, not Pele this time, and he did find the back of the net, as you see that reaction from Matthias. The game is ready. The second leg is about to start. Let's get into it, Brandon.
Well, safe to say that Team Heretics are enjoying themselves at the FGS Masters Cup. You saw Hidalgo having a few interesting dance moves on the screen at the halfway point. Of course, that was probably after their first win of the evening in the semi-finals, but I'm sure they'll be dancing the night away if they are to get a result here. They lead by a goal to nil. They kick from right to left in this one. In the Real Zaragoza strip with top white socks and blue shorts. Team Falcons, their black and green strip from left to right. We need to see a bit more from them offensively, because so far they were able to deal with everything that was thrown at them by Team Heretics.
I think an early start is imperative for Team Falcons, for Nightwatch and MS Desari here, because we'll almost see a replica performance from Heretics in their approach in this second leg. As you see, they're already looking to switch the play, but Falcons are putting a higher press in and trying to win the ball in much more aggressive areas than what Dux Gaming did in that semi-final tie. However, they've played through it really well, have Heretics.
Mbappe, brilliant feed, cutback available, very nearly, that was perfect FIFA from Heretics. We hope this second leg will come alive. But so far, this is a stat for you. Team Heretics have not conceded a single goal across 3 legs of FIFA here in the FGS Masters Cup tonight. That's how good they've been defensively, Richard.
I think defensively and also in possession, they've not wasted the ball a lot. Only maybe 1 or 2 times in the first semi-final, in the last 5 to 10 minutes, did they lose possession in needless areas. That was when they're trying to get that third goal and seal the game. But in their defensive and midfield thirds, you've not seen them give the ball away a lot. And Team Falcons, I think it's going to be a lot of this in this particular final second leg. A lot of probing, not getting frustrated, just keeping the ball ticking over, letting the ball do the work, and trying to find that killer pass into the penalty box.
Bruyne to Mbappe. Patience, the key word here from Team Falcons. Allow them to go without scoring a goal in a leg of FIFA. De Bruyne, red time over the bar. This time red, unfortunately. No chance that that's going to be on target.
But it was nice play. De Bruyne and Hullet probably combining for 3 or 4 passes, each giving it and give and go on the edge of the box. They couldn't find a way into the box, and in the end, I think it was Nightwatch just unleashing the strike with Kevin De Bruyne. This is a good chance because they've got the numbers out.
Could be a cutback Mbappe. Team Falcons looking for their equaliser here. Hullet, good feed. There's the one more. Brilliant save, and the Sar.
Outstanding save. It really was. Great play. The extra pass was perfect. It was really quick off his line, Van der Sar. He rushed it down and just couldn't quite lift the ball over the stretch of the onrushing goalkeeper. Positive play from Falcons, though. They'll be really happy with what they're seeing here. They're starting to get a foothold in this final.
Sorry, with that red curse above his head. Dr. Nightwatch, sorry, with the blue. Keeping an eye on each individual's players' input to this matchup. Flip side, Matthias Banana with the yellow. Cursor above his head, then his teammate, Spain, Hidalgo. White cursor. Keep an eye on those individual inputs that we've seen throughout. Matthias Banana so far, Richard, has scored every single goal. He'll be on for another one, potentially so. And it goes, lofted. Could fall back Kylie. Mbappe can't quite get that one down. It still is alive. Mbappe does get it down now. Hidalgo, shot from distance. Deflects off Kevin De Bruyne. 33 minutes played here. It is still 1-0.
Yeah, lovely little McGeady cancel on the edge of the box from Hidalgo. Just looking to open up with a finesse shot. It was a little bit frantic for a couple of minutes there. The ball was bouncing around. No real control over it. As this passage of play looks to open up here for Falcons.
Mbappe, could be a give! Squeezes it in! There's MS Desari. The little chance was squandered for a split second. But Team Falcons have got their response. It's the first goal that Team Heretics have conceded throughout this whole FGS Masters Cup. It comes in the 37th minute, and it certainly has been coming. Game on, well and truly.
No, absolutely, and it has been coming. I think that's something that we can talk about because they've been probing. That's the best word for it. Ruud Gullit just slips it through to Mbappe. The bounce falls off the shot into R9. A slice of luck, a little bit of fortune, but they do not care. High fives all round, and a big smile from Nightwatch as Team Falcons find a way back into the game. First goal that they've conceded, Team Heretics, in this FGS Masters Cup so far. How will their defensive wall being breached phase them? Will it crumble down or will they pick up the bricks and rebuild? We'll find out in the remaining 50 minutes.
Yeah, for sure not. The instinct was there from Nightwatch to cue the pass. It's been the one more pass. That's been the story. Here comes Heretics now driving forward. Matthias Banano driving forward. With Cristiano Ronaldo still back to R9. What a save from Van der Sar. But what FIFA it was from Hidalgo and Matthias Banano. So close to going back in front just seconds later after the restart.
What a chance. A great save again, just throwing his body at it. I don't know what it was that the goalkeeper saved it with. Just making sure he got any sort of contact on it. Literally straight from kickoff. They attacked, they came forward, Team Heretics, and nearly found their nose back in front.
Plays it through Mbappe. The Team Falcons now. Last chance of the first 45 here in this second leg. You are watching the FGS Masters Cup Grand Final. And we are all square. With 45 minutes left to play. $15,000 on the line. The first taste that both of these two teams have had winning cash this year in competition. But it is truly game on. But what a chance it was, Rich, from the restart for Matthias and Hidalgo. They were so close. Credit to Matthias, by the way, for creating the chance. We'll have to have a little look. But look at this from Matthias Banano with Cristiano. Just watch the movement and the skills, the configurations. He's got 4 black shirts around him, somehow finds his way out of that, puts it on a plate, in all honesty, for Hidalgo. And if it isn't for a great save from Van der Sar, that's a 2-goal to win advantage. No, it is a great save, but it's also, you can't come away from that attack not scoring. Like, you have to score that. It's very simple. Yes, you give plaudits to the goalkeeper, you hold your hands up and say, what a fantastic save. But if you're Team Heretics, you should be winning right now. You should be leading 2 goals to 1. Matheus Bonano cutting open that Falcons defence. Beautiful work down the line. Just a simple cutback and then the McGeady cancel to open up the space inside the box. Big 45 minutes remaining. Massive 45 minutes remaining. Both these teams have put serious investment into competitive FIFA this year, and especially for the likes of Team Heretics bringing over Matheus Bonano from Argentina to Spain. Putting him up, putting him in the La Liga. They look to return the favour! He will do so! And that is the first goal that Hidalgo has scored in the FGS Masters Cup. We've been singing the praises of his teammate Matthias at scoring goals. Surprise, surprise, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. But Team Heretics, as I was calling out for a response, a reaction, they lead by 2 goals to 1. The perfect start to the second half here. I mean, they came close just before half-time, and now they've got that goal just as we get underway inside the second period. Exactly what Heretics needed. How long will it last, though? That's the question. R9 cuts back inside. Desari was the player to let rip with a shot there from R9. Well, one back from Dr. Nine. Didn't really see what was wrong with that personally from Kevin De Bruyne. Referee did, though. Speaking about how good they've been in that key possession, Richard. As I say that, they lose it. Yeah. Here comes Pele. Not for so long, though. It's in moments like here where they've remained so composed, happy to keep the ball. They're able to play out just like so. I was just about to say, it's the small moments that create runners-up and champions, and they've got a chance to go 3-1 up here. Ronaldo on his own! Again! No one was expecting that. We weren't expecting that in the commentary booth. Hidalgo doesn't get 1, he gets 2 in the grand final. And surprise, surprise, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, the man of the moment, that's bagged another goal in the game. Speak about being unpredictable. Look at that for a finish there. Everyone was looking for a cutback. He wasn't. Finesse into the bottom corner. They've got a 2-goal cushion. And now this is going to need a massive, massive response from Team Falcons, Richard. We're just going to have a look back at this goal here as we approach the 60th minute. It was the work down the left-hand side of the pitch. Just did... I think the blue icon there, it looks like it's Night Watch. He didn't track the runner. I think they tried stepping up as a back 4. Didn't step up at the right time. CR7 just managed to sneak in behind. The ball over the top was nice from Matthias. And Hidalgo, on a tight angle, smashes it into the back of the net. Team Heretics 3-1 up against Team Falcons. They only had, what, 11% of the vote before the game starts? I'm sure if you did that poll right now, there would be a huge favourite to go out and secure the victory here with 30 minutes left to play. We need something magic from MS Desari. Serious situation. But if there was a team you would put in a position like this to turn it around, it would be those 2 players. They need an action plan, they need it now. Team Falcons, 29 minutes left to play here. They trail by 3 goals to 1 on aggregate. De Bruyne. Now Cancelo from fullback, looking to drive more numbers into this attack now. It's It's possessed again. It's moments like that every single passage of play has to be better, because when they get on the ball, they're going to take endless minutes out of the tie. Does well. Really nicely done by Heretics. R9 could be through. We could conclude it. There's so many shirts around him. Bellingham on his own sends him back in. Matthias Bernardo, you are a magician. An absolute magician in the box with Jude Bellingham. Sells him one way, goes on his own. He doesn't need a striker. He can put it in the back of the net with Jude Bellingham. It's not a 2-goal, it's a 3-goal cushion now for Team Heretics with just over 20 minutes left to play.
Outstanding from Heretics. And you see, that was the poll before the game started. 11% of people said they were going to win. They're now 4-1 up. Team Falcons, 89% of the vote went their way.
All I can say, Rich, there's channel points, I believe, up for grabs for this one. Whoever the 11% are, they've just voted. You've just picked up some serious channel points in the in the Twitch chat there. Unbelievable scenes. But I tell you what, Richard, we spoke about Matthias Bernardo. We've warned the world, I'm sure you have as well, more than anyone, of how special this Argentine is and how important it is that he's involved in pretty much everything going forward with competitive FIFA. Look no further at a prime example of just how special this FIFA player is.
He is, and this is only the start. Chance here for Falcons at the other end. They need a response. They need it now. There's enough time for Team Falcons, as much as we're singing Heretics' praises, to turn this game around. The chance falls into Van der Sar's arms. But I've been talking about Matthias Bernardo during sort of this pandemic phase of FIFA where we've been playing remote for the last 18 months, Brandon. And I've been saying people need to start picking their head up and realising that Richard Buckley actually sometimes talks a bit of sense, and he's been singing this man's praises since day one. He is incredible.
And that's come off the back of his year last year. If you haven't been following his online FIFA 21 season he was the #1 ranked player on the PlayStation in South America. He was a Copa Libertadores winner. He won 3 out of the 4 qualifiers in South America last year. He was involved in pretty much all of them. The lowest finish he had was a top 6. A top 6 was his lowest finish in FIFA 21, and I believe that came really late into the season in the playoffs. Team Falcons, 3 goals, 11 minutes. I don't see it happening. Possession goes for a goal kick. Just been perfect so far. Look at so many factors to why it's working for this team in particular. I think one of the factors has to be the level they're playing at one E-Club World Cup. They're getting reps in there, both playing for the same team in La Liga. Yes, it's a 1v1 format, but there's team cohesion there. You're seeing your teammate pretty much every other day in Spain. You're training, you got your reps in together. All of these things provide better team cohesion, and I look forward to seeing exactly how they will play in April in that Team of the Season Cup. They have got a 3-goal cushion. There's only 6 minutes left, and I think they are winding their way forward to be Week 3 FGS Masters Cup champions here, Richard.
They've conquered, have Team Heretics. Out of all the teams who maybe you thought looking at today might have gone all the way, not many people are looking at Heretics and say, you know what, I think they'll be the team to do it. We saw the poll. The stats are there for people at home. Matthias Bernardo and Hidalgo have meshed so well as a duo as Team Falcons launch that one in behind. They will be a serious threat to the other 31 competing teams at the Team of the Season Cup. I can guarantee that for a fact.
At a time of just a minute, it's been their first outing as a duo in the FGS 22 season. However, they will be your Week 3 champions here, picking up $15,000, the duo. of Matthias Bernardo, the Argentine that's now living and located in Europe in Spain, and his teammate Hidalgo will pick up their first victory as a 2v2 duo, and why they have so deserved it. They have been absolutely incredible throughout this tournament process. We had question marks on them against this Team Falcons team. Would they be challenged? Would it be too difficult of a task? However, we saw just how good they are on the virtual pitch, Richard. Incredible stuff from both of those two, and a massive, massive congratulations to Team Heretics, Richard. Week 3 winners. They're going to be over the moon, aren't they?
Falcons scored 9 goals against Team Makers over the course of 2 legs. Over the course of 2 legs in our grand final, they scored 1 goal against Heretics. Heretics across the entire night have conceded 1 goal. They're defensively, out of all the teams we've seen so far, probably the best. Offensively, it might not be the most glamorous style. Sometimes you just say to Matthias, you're going to create something, you're going to do something special. Other times it's that little switch of play from left back to right back. They like the ball over the top, but when they get inside the box, very rarely do they miss chances. They're really clinical. I'd love to do some stats and figure out what percentage they're scoring of their chances inside the box, because I guarantee it's probably 80% upwards. When they get in those areas, they score goals, and they're a serious, serious threat for all the other teams in the Team of the Season Cup.
Also, someone else that was clinical was Team Falcons, Richard, of what we saw when they scored 6 goals across the 2 legs in their last game. Yes, they shipped a few, but they did score 6 goals. And the fact that they only conceded, 1 across the whole evening, across 4 individual legs of FIFA is incredible. Rich, just a few words from you. How much are you looking forward to seeing them in action later this year in April for the Team of the Season Cup?
Look, as much as sort of we're talking about Heretics and we're talking about all the other teams, MS Dasari on LAN levels up. He turns into a different animal. He turns into the man that wins trophies. The man, what did you say? 14 finals, 12 victories. That's what MS Dasari does. When he gets into these final opportunities, when he gets into these LAN games and everyone's in person, very rarely does he lose. So what we've seen tonight, I think, is a little bit scary because him and Nightwatch, they played really well. They come up against a really good Heretics side in that final. But if that's on LAN, it could be a complete different story. We're going to find out. All these questions that we're asking will be answered at the Team of the Season Cup.
Yeah, they will indeed. Rich, what a pleasure it's been. Week 3 of the action concluded from yourself and me here in the commentary box. We're back again next Monday for week 4 of this. But all that's left to say is a massive congratulations to Team Heretics. And from me and Richard, it's back down to Rachel and Ryan to break that incredible grand final. Over to you guys.
Thanks, boys. I mean, Ryan, I think Rich has just set us up with loads of questions there. But the first one is obviously that 89% of you guys at home didn't believe Team Heretics were going to win. And Ryan, I think you make up an extra % there because you didn't either. So I'm going to say actually it was 90% of people didn't believe it. That was quite the performance, Ryan. I actually liken it a little bit to week 1 of the FGS Masters Cup when you had Excel and Blue and then Fnatic and Footwiz. And Fnatic were so dominant, weren't they, in their semi-final? I think it was like 9-1 in the end, and we thought they were going to win. And then it was a 2-1 result in Excel's favour. They just kind of didn't have that pressure on like we spoke about before this matchup. And they came out and absolutely put it to Team Fnatic. And do you think that's something that we saw which was similar tonight?
I'd say so, yeah. Again, I spoke about it being reminiscent of the first week, just based on the voting as well. Not a lot of people gave Heretics any slimmer of hope, but in all honesty, I thought they were sublime defensively. I know they conceded the goal. It was a very fortunate one as well for Falcons to get themselves back into the game. But Heretics, I know the Team of the Season Cup's a little wide away. They could win it, I'll be honest. Straight away, I'm going to say that. I think they could actually win it.
But let's continue the LAN conversation Richard said. Obviously, we saw Matthias Bernardo come out last week, didn't we? Or sorry, last year. And it was all obviously online. He hasn't really been experienced in these LAN events. That could come unstuck for him, possibly.
Potentially, but the way he's been playing, again, you still have that confidence knowing that you're able to beat the top players. So he'll be trying to put that into the performances when the LAN events do come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's going to be exciting, of course, at the end of April. But for now, Ryan, let's go over to the analysis presented by PlayStation Tournaments once again for the final time tonight of that final between Team Heretics and Team Falcons. Ryan, take it away.
Yes, we will look at the goals scored in the finals. Of course, Team Heretics up against Team Falcons, and it was Heretics who started off brightly. They played a lot of these balls over the top. They played one just before with Pele, and it was saved, but this one from CR7 finds the back of the net, breaks the deadlock, and it gives them that boost of confidence they needed. Going into the second leg, of course, they do have that 1-goal lead, maintaining it, but it was an attack from Falcons. Fortunate for it to bounce back, and it was a red time finish from R9 into the corner. You could argue that, again, very fortunate, but they'll take it. It puts them back into the game, but just before half-time, it was Heretics breaking through there. CR7, with great dribbling. Fantastic cancel there. Played across an R9. You'd expect to score that. A fantastic save. I thought that would have been the goal to break the deadlock, but this was the goal. Going into the second half, it was a barrage of attacks in the first 15 minutes or so in the second half. This is the first of them. The elastico, reverse elastico into the green time shot, and it led to the goal to make it 2-1. Another ball over the top now, and this here, CR7 breaking in here. He could play it across, he could shoot near post, but he cuts in slightly. Green time finesse shot into the far corner for Hidalgo. And here we are again later on in the second half. A ball played over the top for R9 Ronaldo, played into Jude Bellingham, and this is the Lacoquette I was talking about, past Ruben Diaz, left foot into the corner. Game over, and that crowns out Team Heretics as the champions.
They are, of course, the champions. 4-1, that end result in that analysis presented by PlayStation Tournaments. You can see how disappointed at the end of that clip Dr. Nightwatch was. These, though, are your champions, Hidalgo and Matthias Bonanno, Team Heretic. I mean, that was an awesome finish to week 3, of course. And I'm going to bring it up, Ryan. The fact that Hidalgo actually got some goals there, I think that kind of probably meant quite a lot to him. Obviously, Matthias scored the first one with CR7. Then there was that save. And then it was Hidalgo with 2 goals to his name as well. I think probably after the first semi-final, with Matthias getting both those goals, he really wanted to make his mark on tonight.
Yeah, especially offensively. Defensively, I felt as if they both held their own, but of course it was the goals from Matthias to put them into the final. But Hidalgo done fantastically well. Even if it wasn't scoring, if you take out those 2 goals he scored, just the way he built it up, played perfectly well with Matthias. They created a lot of chances. The one where CR7 twisted and turned into the box, of course that was on his mind a bit because the keeper saved it from his shot with R9. But again, when the moment came for him to score, in the most important moments, he took them. So yeah, both of these players should be proud of their performance.
I mean, super proud. Also, you have to remember they were going up against Team Falcons, who had a world champion, a runner-up world champion, and then a runner-up in the E-Champions League as well. So many accolades to those boys' names. So the fact that they kind of obviously had to forget that and just go out and perform like they did obviously shows just how confident they are, Ryan.
Yeah. Exactly. Again, anybody that's featured in these tournaments are at the top of their level. They're at the top of their game competing. So again, when you do end up matching someone with the accolades that the Sorry and Nightwatch have, you know it's going to be a tough task. But they came up and they performed amazing. Like I say, I honestly think when the Team of the Season Cup happens, they could go the distance. Honestly, I would say they've impressed me the most, especially defensively throughout the couple of weeks we've had so far with the Masters Cups.
Yeah, totally. Obviously only conceded, didn't they? 1 goal in the end as well over these 2 games they played tonight. Well, we do have one more week, of course, next week. That'll wrap up the FGS Masters Cup. And this is who you're going to see playing. These are the 4 teams that make up our final teams in this mini tournament series we've been playing. So it'll be Complexity taking on Atlanta in the first semi-final. Then it'll be Inter taking on SPQR in that second semi-final. Obviously 2 can only make it through to that 4th and final FGS Masters Cup final. There we have it. Well, the Team of the Season Cup is what you guys please come and join us for, because it'll be awesome. You'll see obviously all the 16 teams from the last 4 weeks competing there, and all the 16 teams that we saw qualify at the Open that Brandon was talking about back in December now, which will be really exciting for them all to come together in April the 29th to May the 1st. That's what we're going for. That will be pretty exciting to see. Well, we're going to try and get a little chat with the boys in a short while. Obviously, Team Heretics there. We're going to try and just see how great that matchup was for them and kind of what they've come through to beat these awesome 2 players here. But while we kind of wait for them to get set up, because obviously it's always a little bit more difficult, isn't it, when we're bringing you this from all around the world? Let's just kind of look at the kind of the day as a whole in terms of how they've gone, because I think obviously they've been super well poised. Actually, we can hear that we're actually going to go with the team now. Team Heretics, the champions, of course. I believe we're going to have Matthias and Hidalgo joining us. Yes, we do. Matthias in the background, of course. Hidalgo, you're going to speak to us now. Firstly, congratulations. That was some final there. Everybody at home was going against you. 89% of people didn't believe you were going to become champions. Firstly, what do you have to say to all the fans at home who went against you?
Hi, how are you? First of all, we are a new team. Matthias come from Argentina, and maybe the people don't believe in our team because maybe we don't know how we play. But yes, we live together since FIFA come out, so we knew every movement of each one. So we play nice, and we play very well.
I have a question as well. Congratulations to you both. This question is going to be targeted to Matthias Hidalgo. Firstly, how has he found it moving from South America into Europe? Has he found it challenging, moving home and competing in a different region? How has Matthias found it in Europe compared to South America?
Es que no entiendo, hay una palabra que no entiendo, tío. En plan, dice Matías. Claro, es que creo que es una pregunta como de Mati. Que creo que quieren que responda Mati.
I think that I'm gonna need to help him.
Okay, I was just saying. Yeah, of
Could you
course.
repeat,
I was
Ryan,
saying,
if
how
possible?
has Matthias found it?
Que cómo lo has encontrado el hecho de estar aquí y demás. Sí. Basically, these weeks we have been practicing a lot. I mean, we didn't have the chance to play the E-Club this year because we lost in the pre-qualification. And now we have been putting a lot of work in, and now we are really happy about winning this FGS Master Cup because we have done the work, and now we're really happy about the win.
Yeah, super happy. Can you keep the headset on? We'll ask some more questions because we have loads that we want to ask you. Firstly, I want to ask the boys how they kind of prepared mentally, knowing they were going to go up against a world champion, a runner-up at the World Cup as well, and then a runner-up at the E-Champions League, like massive achievements, and they didn't seem like they were phased.
¿Cómo ha sido para vosotros enfrentaros a Dosari, que al final es un campeón del mundo, y cómo afrontas la E-Champions League? We already knew that it was going to be a tough match against Falcons because we know Dosari, we know Nightwatch, and I mean they have been a lot of years in the scene, and for us we are like a really young team with Matthias that came ahead in FIFA 21 and Hidalgo that has been competing for a long time, and we're really happy about getting the win against them. That we consider him one of the best players in FIFA history. Now we are putting a lot of focus on the month of April as we have La Liga Cup, Champions League, and Tots Cup. And Matthias was saying that he has a lot of work to do ahead of the E-Champions League, as he wants the E-Libertadores and the E-Champions League in his
Well, that would be something special. I wish you all the best of luck as well. And we'll see you at the Team of the Season Cup, of course, at the end of April. We're very excited to see how you get on there. But congratulations, you are our FGS Masters Week 3 champions, Team Heretics. Congratulations. We'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Well, absolute champions there, Ryan Pessoa. And I guess one of the key points to take away was the fact that Hidalgo said they've been living together since the start of FIFA 22, which seems like it's paying off.
Yeah, massively. I'm very impressed as well. They mentioned that they didn't even qualify for the Club World Cup. They lost in the qualification format. So the fact they've come on this far and performed this well is commendable.
Absolutely commendable. They, of course, are champions for Week 3. Team Heretic there in your screen behind us. Absolutely worthy winners. 4-1 over Team Falcons. Well, that does sum up Week 3 for you. Thanks so much to Ryan Pessoa, Brandon Smith, Richard Buckley, and our 4 competing teams. We have one more week to go for the FGS Masters Cup. That is next Monday, March the 28th, 6 p.m. Your winners, though, this week, of course, were Team Heretics. They join Excel and Guild from Week 1 and Week 2. We will see you guys next week. Come back and join us. It'll be super fun.